you!
You're scared. And you should be.
This is not your company anymore.
Leave the cheek of CM Punk.
Out! Combo move! This is what they've been doing! Hey, McAfee!
Everyone shut the up and sit down!
We got a mom in the front row who taught her daughter how to suck dick!
I'm Mina Shirakawa. I used to be a model. I want to put on a big show.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome once again to the Saturday Shenanigans, hosted by yours truly, the Renegade JJ Williams. Hi guys. Hi guys. CM Punk drama bullshit to the side. I still consider Heyman the worst AEW champion they've had. First of all, we're going to bring in Walter Cruz.
I said that as a joke when what's his name did his promo Monday. He said, "I'm from a prestige university." I said he majored in Steiner, man.
We've got the Heeb man, James Hebert, in the house.
I do really cool and dumb things. Bring the intense.
Right. A lot of shit going on here. A lot of fucking crazy ass shit.
Where is Noah JD? Well, say his name and he appears, because we believe in Noah Foster.
Fuck is this intro? It is one of those things where as fans we do have these desires and what we want to see, but sometimes you can't always get what you want, and there are reasons you truly don't get what you want. I wouldn't even listen to this in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. What the fuck is this shit? God, rapid whack. Like I said, never been a greater time to be a wrestling fan than with more companies in a more lucrative spot, in a more comfortable business spot, in a sense of mind, it seems, than ever. Again, WWE is not the only one. It is not the end-all, be-all. So let's go back to the Vaquer Wrestling JJ Williams to get the official word. JJ, speak!
Make sure you tune in every week, because you never know who's going to drop in to join the Shenanigans. Catboy is in the house.
Hello, my internet family. I say if you want to make them as evil as possible, make them really mad.
We have Mansfield joining the party now. What is going on, Josh?
Like I told no one when we were in Cleveland, him joining JC was just an unfortunate side effect of my shenanigans towards you, JJ. I know how it can get better, Noah. The panel chooses you.
Shut the fuck up, Josh.
He said that so like.
They got some of the intro back.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just think how you and I had lunch together the other week.
That was different.
Ladies and gentlemen, the King is here. Say his name and he appears. We believe in King A-Train. There are so many believers in Joe Hendry. The only person on this panel that doesn't believe in Joe Hendry is King A-Train. Tell the world why you do not believe in Joe Hendry.
The reason I do not believe Joe Hendry is he is Fandango 2.0 in a entrance merchant. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Hey! There's nothing wrong with being an entrance merchant. He has some of the best entrances of all time.
Teleporting into the command center, all the way from Angel Grove High, Datilla.
Oh, yeah. I went to the command center on Thursday. I went to Vasquez Rocks, which is where they filmed a lot of episodes. Somebody actually climbed to the very top of those rocks. I made it halfway. I was like, I'm not going up there. Definitely Toni Storm versus Mariah May. That's the one match I probably am looking forward to the most. I really like the story. I'm familiar with all about Eve, so if it plays out that way, I kind of know how this is gonna go.
Say goodnight, Datilla.
Good night.
James, you did say his name, so he shall appear, ladies and gentlemen. first time on the Shenanigans. Jeff Meacham is in the motherfucking house.
Ah! All right, we're coming in hard with the botch. All right, fucking hell. It's good to be back. It's good to have an opportunity to talk to the crowd on a Saturday.
If you want to have yourself stomach through it, you can go back and watch when the Main Event Mafia took over Impact. That's what James was talking about.
So if everybody just joined us, we're talking about people sedating people, attempted murder, boys, and tips. Welcome to Saturday Shenanigans, everybody. Aren't you glad I'm back?
Welcome back, Jeff.
Cool. What is going on, everybody, and welcome once again to the festivities that are known as the Saturday Shenanigans here across the Simply Reliable Studios brand of channels. I, of course, am your host and moderator, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. Hope everybody is having a good evening here today. We got a lot of stuff that we're going to discuss today, so we're going to get right into it. Got a small, simple panel for the evening, so hopefully we won't go too off in the weeds, go too long, but you never know. You never know with the topics we have. First and foremost, we got the resident big baller in the house. Big G is in the house. What's going on, G? I don't hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. And now I don't hear you again. There might be a short in the wiring.
Yeah. Give me a sec.
Like, damn it, everything was working great on the pre-show. Now all of a sudden, tech wants to act up. Poor guy. Like, the man was the only one here early for the pre-show festivities to kick it in the green room and bullshit with me beforehand. Mike was working fine then. Now all of a sudden that the show starts, the mic wants to fuck up on him. Gotta love it. If it's not one thing, it's another. What's going on, Safet? What's going on, Charles? What's going on, Daniel? Good to see everybody.
All right, is that better?
At least we can hear you.
All right. Yeah, fucking headphones, I swear.
I don't know what's going on, man. That shit was working earlier.
I know. Oh, my God. Fucking irritated.
We got our favorite username in the house, 26.2 miles outside Parts Unknown is here. Ray J's World is here. Good to see everybody showing up. We've got a lot of people in the room right now. So, as I always like to say, if you guys have not subscribed yet to Rage of Wrestling, make sure you go over subscribe. We've actually got quite a few people watching on that channel right now. Almost half of the people watching right now are watching on Walter's channel, so that's a good thing. Let's go ahead and bring in Mr. Reliable. What is going on, Walter? Damn, okay. Fresh haircut, no glasses now either. He's really trying to attract the mamacitas.
Yeah, if only they knew what just happened to me. Please, no birthdays for a little bit. Like, get no more cake and ice cream for me. Because we're a show about wrestling, and right now my intestines are wrestling. But that's there.
Damn. So what's going on, Walter?
Nothing much. Just celebrated the little guy's 9th birthday a couple of days ago. The 15-year-old's birthday, and then in May I got the 18-year-old. So fatherhood is continuing. Yeah. Bad Ninja Turtles session earlier. We did like a private session. We didn't go online, but we were like playing with just me, Big G, and Charles. But man, we were dying. We were dying our asses off.
Hey, I've been playing Super Mario Party over here on N64 today, the kids and whatnot. Played a little WrestleMania 2000, little Mario Party.
That takes me
Unfortunately for you, Ray J's World, Noah is not going to be here tonight. He's been dealing with some stuff, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't even know all the intricacies, what's going on with Noah, but he's just been dealing with some stuff, so he is not going to be here tonight.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But you've got us. Hopefully we'll keep you entertained. And yes, Chris, they do grow up quick. 1 minute you're palming them in your hand, the next minute they're 16 years old, 18 years old.
Mm-hmm. Seriously.
Well, I got my 2 fur babies right next to me, so.
Now, see, those you can still more or less palm in your hand, though, I'm sure.
Well,
Not quite the same. Not quite the same.
You go from changing diapers to paying college tuition.
Right? But hopefully this will be an interesting night, man. We've got, like I said, we've got some pretty decent topics. Lots been going on in the wrestling world these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it really has.
And while a lot of it has been discussed over in the spaces, some of it hasn't. And some of it bears rehashing because maybe opinions have changed since then. You know, fresh perspectives. Big G, you're not always over there in the spaces.
Right.
So your thoughts on some of this stuff may give me and Walter a different perspective on some of the stuff. So without any further ado, let's see here. Where do we want to start? Well, I guess let's go ahead and start with the TNA. You know, earlier this week, it was announced that Gail Kim and quite a few other people within the TNA infrastructure were let go. Gail Kim obviously was the most notable of names.
Right.
Because of her involvement with the knockouts and the fact that Gail Kim is a no name. You know, everybody else was kind of like office people for Anthem and TNA, and it's like I'd never really heard the names before. But Gail Kim really was kind of the glue holding the knockouts together. And after the departure, releasing, firing, whatever you want to label it as Scott D'Amore last year, this kind of seemed to be a lot of the same, you know, kind of crept up out of nowhere. Right. And what does the future hold for Gail Kim? You know, is she going to go and reconnect with D'Amore as he runs his Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling? Gail Kim is Canadian, so she could go get involved in that. Do we see her going to AEW or WWE? You know, there used to be a time where you would hear Gail Kim and WWE and you'd be like, yeah, not in a fucking million years. But now that infrastructure has changed and Vince isn't in control anymore, you know, it's like maybe Gail Kim coming over to help structure that women's division and especially NXT, you know, where there's so much young promise.
Right.
And having a veteran name like Gail Kim down there could do wonders. I'll go ahead and I'll start with you, G. What do you think about this release?
Yeah, I mean, we see it with every wrestling company. You know,
they got to make their cuts and stuff like that. Just that way they can meet their budget or whatever. And you know, Gail Kim hasn't really wrestled in a long time, but like you mentioned, that she was behind the scenes of the Knockouts division. I haven't watched TNA in a while because I've been slacking, but like when I did watch it, like the Knockouts division or the women's division, whatever you want to call it, seemed like one of the best divisions that I've seen. Nothing against WWE's women's division, but NXT. I would say like TNA's Knockouts division and NXT's women's division are like 1A and 1B right now in a way, just because of how much talented women they have in their divisions. But I mean, Gail Kim could go anywhere. I mean, she could go to AEW, but like, I don't know. But she could go to NXT, like you mentioned too. Help out that division. She could go to the main roster WWE and help out that division because they need help big time. Like, it's just a complete mess right there on the main roster. But yeah, I'm sure she'll and you also said she could hook up with Scott D'Amore and go up north in Canada with Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. But she'll land on her feet somewhere. Somebody will need her somewhere, and I'm sure she wants to do something to help out someone's division. So,
okay, Walter.
Yeah, this came as a total left field shock for me. I don't really know the details. I assume that it's financial. Maybe she was just costing the company too much. They couldn't afford her anymore because how long she's been there. So, every company has budget cuts. So I just think that was unfortunately what it was, because I think the other guy was like a video director or something to do with like technology and stuff. So I pretty much think it was that. But where would I like to see her? I really would like her to go back to the E, but I want to see her get involved with Evolve. Take those young women and show them how they should be. And the reason I say that is because when you're in that stage in the career in its infancy, you're a sponge and you soak information up. And if you got someone with the knowledge of a Gail Kim who's got over 15 years in the business, taking care of these young women, you literally can go like this and not have a worry. They could just wash their hands of it. Gail's got this. We don't even need to micromanage. We don't need to do any of the mistakes that Vince did, because Vince was known for micromanaging. I think you give that to Gail Kim, you can literally leave it in the rear view and not have it worried. And then all of a sudden you'll see these people, 5-10 years down the line become big stars, become your next, Charlotte Flair. I hate doing that, comparing people, but the next star is like your next Bianca Belair, your next Charlotte Flair coming up from Evolve. You get them at that developmental stage. Like I said, there are sponges. You want to soak up knowledges. You want people like Gail Kim. You want people, and for the men, you want people like Undertaker. The fact that he's involved in the LFG. You really want those kind of people, especially when they're company people. Yeah, she was a company person for TNA. WWE's relationship, not so much, but times have changed. Everybody deserves a different chance. And again, the X factor is that the person in charge, when she really hated it, is no longer there. Yeah. CM Punk came back. Hell froze over. Things change. I would really love to get her in that developmental, because I feel like those female talent would be in the right hand. And even the male too. Just because she's a female doesn't mean you train just women. You train the men. You show them promos. Gail can promo. She can move. She can work, and she knows the schedule. She can prepare them for potential burnouts and everything that are coming, because she's been there, done that. So I really would like to get her involved with Evolve and kick that show off, because these are the people that end up in NXT. And NXT, we talked about it in Spaces, we talked about it before, is an ever-moving chain. Eventually, the current crop of women that we see are going to have to move on, and we're going to have to open the door to the next people in NXT. So what better way to do that than use Gail Kim for that?
I like it. I like it. I like the idea of using her for Evolve.
Yeah. Yeah, Bob's been doing it, man. It's ever since. It's like I mean, that's part of why I wanted to do the watch along tomorrow too. Once I found out Cappuccino's involved, and like that guy really got me. Like, Bob's got some characters in there, like, and I literally mean characters, not as a figure of speech. They literally have characters, and it's fun to develop. Like you got what is it, swipe right or swipe left or whatever it is, swipe right. I said
Swipe right.
They got the most punchable faces, but they're all characters. It fits them. It's who they are. I'm supposed to feel like that. So I feel like, man, Evolve is going to be something to look out for, and I would love to see her do that.
Yeah.
We're getting technical difficulties on all sides. So
I know on all sides. No shit.
Yeah.
I was watching some footage on X with Evolve with Jessica Carr wrestling down there. It'll be, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah.
It wouldn't. When you get somebody that's a veteran like that, getting, like I said, getting to the person while they're young and they're soaking it up, because that's the thing with younger people. They're very, like, I got kids, they're very impressionable, which is why they say be careful how you behave around people. Now, yes, they are adults, obviously they're adults, but they're still impressionable and they're young in wrestling. So you get the right people around them, then you'll be fine. So that's why I just hope that she's even there, because I feel like even NXT doesn't need her help. Evolve would really need it.
Guys, we have a special guest in the green room.
Yes, we do. Thanks to me.
Hi.
Thanks to you. Hi. Hello there. And it's appropriate why I'm saying that.
What brings you to our neck of the woods?
Well, being as far away from y'all as I am here at the edge of the galaxy, I figured I'd pop in and say hello while I can, because in about 35 minutes, about to be a reel back here. I'm literally sitting outside Docking Bay 7 waiting for the brand new debut last night, projection and light and fireworks show here at the edge of the galaxy. So figured I'd pop in and see what my boys are doing tonight.
I'm jealous.
The obvious.
I'm jealous of you. God damn it.
Oh no, G. It gets better. See what I got.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Is that a popcorn bucket?
No, we're losing Jeff.
Is that a popcorn bucket?
It is, but they give it to you empty now. Look how deep it is. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it or not. There you go. It is deep. So, but I also want to plug, since they're sitting right here and they were so awesome a few minutes ago. Let's see. Instagram is, hey, see Instagram? Boshu Boutique on Instagram. Let me see if I can get the thing to line up here. Oh, there you go. There's QR codes. Scan the QR code. There you go. We were discussing. I asked them for their card because I've heard so much awesomeness about their products, and we were talking, and now inspired churro burger. So for you Disney dorks, churros are just messy. So this prevents the messing. Yes.
There you go.
Just at Disney. What a surprise. Yes, I am at Disney. Yes, I am currently in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge here at the Disney Resort. It was the Death Star. Check this out. Let's see if I can do it real quick here while I'm on the air here. All right, so I push the button on the bottom and wait for it. There it goes.
Oh my god, I'm jealous. Oh my god, is it like? Oh my god, I'm jealous.
It's so silly, but it's awesome. Yeah, I have had an absolute blast back here the last couple of days. I've only been in Star Wars Land, except when I briefly came in yesterday. I went and I met up with Toy Story's Jesse in Frontierland. I saw Mickey last night because it's me and I saw Mickey because it's what I do. But any other times I've been back here on my train. So it's been a great couple of days. I'll send the pictures, Dave, while we're talking. But I did want to actually, be the wrestling guy, answer questions that people are sending them in, though I have a moment.
Well, right now we were talking about Gail Kim's departure from TNA and where we think she's going to end up landing. What are your thoughts?
Well, in a perfect world, with who is running that company now, I'd love to see her collaborate with the WWE Women's Division, obviously. I want to believe she'd be a good fit in AEW, but I just don't. I can't make myself believe it, just because of how big of a show that place is, and the fact that the women's division there had such potential, and that's all it ended up being was potential. So I'd like to see her back to WWE if she can be the one to turn AEW's women's division around. Thing is, AEW just doesn't need one division anymore. They need a complete system reboot. And I don't think adding another potential legend to the list of people who are going to be sitting there putting their thumbs for 6 months is the right idea. So AEW, but just for me, it's like I can't envision a world that she's not running the TNA Knockouts division. It's just bizarre to me. And this screams like a lot of the same thing that happened when they let Scott go. It's like they let Scott go, and TNA has still done very well the last, what's it been, almost 2 years since his departure. Or, yeah, a little over a year. But now it's like the mind behind TNA and the driving force of the Knockouts are now both no longer in that company. I wonder how much longer that clock is going to tick before the bomb hits. It's a little scary of a thought because they're partnered with WWE now. How much more of their identity are they going to give up before they become just a fully WWE territory?
I was gonna say
that's a fair assessment.
I was like,
Butterfly effect is a mucker something, folks.
Yeah. With this NXT and TNA crossover, this could be a potential for WWE buying TNA down the road.
If they have wanted to sell, are they just gonna keep doing what they're doing and picking off the top pieces of the machine and just sell the rest for scrap? Jeff is not wrong. It rarely happens that I am on this show anyway. Other shows, debatable.
Walter proposed the idea, not just bringing her to WWE, but having her kind of nurture the evolved talent.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I co-sign on that 100%.
Let her help cultivate those guys that are striving to get a spot on NXT, moving up the ranks there.
Yeah, I can't even argue any of that. That's how I would use her if I brought her back. I now that and if you believe all the rumor innuendo around the internet wrestling league, now that the person that really made her compelled to leave is gone, like there's no reason her and Hunter and the other creative folks can't find someone. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, almost makes you wonder if Bruce Pritchard still being there would play a factor or not, because of him being so heavily connected to Vince, a Vince guy. Like, would she be able to look past that with Hunter in charge, or would that stigma of him being a Vince guy kind of mess with her?
Well, we are starting early, apparently. So I need to sign up before I get in IP trouble. I'll be back.
Sounds good.
And there were 3 yet again.
Yes, again.
I'm so jealous.
He's right, though. It's hard to envision a world where she's not in charge of that.
Yeah,
when me and the wife went on our honeymoon, we went to Walt Disney World and we spent a whole day and a half in Galaxy's Edge, but I was surprised unless that's something new with like the light show, so because they didn't have that one. What do you got? So, but anyways,
yes.
I need JJ and Jeff to take me. I've never been to World or Land.
Well, once you get to Cali, I'm sure we'll be able to make it happen. I mean, he works there, so he's able to get X amount of sign-ins a year. So I'm sure we can make it happen there, Walter. So in addition to Gail Kim leaving TNA, a couple days ago it was reported that Saraya has left AEW.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a lot of the same questions here, like, where do we think she'll land? Considering the fact that WWE wasn't willing to clear her, do you think her going back to the E as a wrestler is even an option? Or is it one of those things where if she goes back, it may be as like a figurehead on camera type of role? You know, I mean, Ava already gave up being GM of Evolve.
Yeah.
Could we see Paige becoming the GM of NXT? And Ava being removed from that position? You know, would we throw Paige on the main roster? Would we use her in a managerial role? Put Paige and Cora together? You know, if we can't get AJ Lee onto TV, Paige would be a good second choice to throw with Cora.
Yeah.
You know, she did say in an interview on Busted Open that she wants to take some time away from wrestling and explore some other options. She's got a autobiography that just came out.
Yeah.
She's doing media and book tours with that. But she could also be working us to try to throw us off the scent that she could be back sooner rather than later. Saraya is something we didn't really talk about a whole lot on the spaces. So Walter, I'll go ahead and I'll throw that to you first.
Yeah. This one I'm not surprised by because she wasn't being utilized. I can't even remember, honestly. When's the last time she was on TV in AEW? So
she was doing quite a bit with Harley before Harley broke out and started doing that stuff with Mercedes.
Oh, okay.
So she's been on TV, I won't say recently, but within this past year, you know, these last 3, almost 4 months, she's been on TV, backstage segments, like I said, with Harley Cameron, prior to her breaking out, starting the Mini Monet thing and, you know, going towards Grand Slam. So,
all right. All right.
And then, of course, to Ray J's point, she had her monumental moment at Wembley at the first All In.
Yeah.
The first official AEW All In, because I don't need some fan in the chat room going, well, there was an All In before AEW was officially founded. The first official AEW All In.
Good one.
Make sure I specify so I don't get, you know.
Yeah, you know how the internet is. The wrestling community, like, no. Then
especially the AEW diehards.
Especially. But, yeah, the whole idea you propose about the taking over Ava, I wouldn't mind seeing that if Ava was actually going to wrestle. Because otherwise, why did you move her? Like, if she was going to, but we saw what she had before, and they gave her this this position, I guess, to work on her talking. And I don't know if she I kind of wish we knew. Did she give up on wrestling? Is she working on it back, you know, behind the scenes, and we just don't know about it? So that would be interesting because you give it up to
to Paige and Ava returns to the ranks, especially with the way the women are kind of driving, especially if you just watched NXT, the women are kind of driving Ava nuts. So it would make sense if she's like, I can't do this anymore. And then that's when you turn the ranks over to Paige. But we'll see what happens. If she does return as a wrestler, I would love to see her go back to NXT. Like, I know she's a star and everybody would be like, well, main roster, but she's been there already. She's also been to NXT, but I would love to see her return there and just, work with the new crop of people she never worked with, and you put her back there. How many people from the main roster went back to NXT and it shows good? I mean, Becky Lynch went back down to NXT, had a little short title run. Yeah, they all do that. So if you have Paige do that, it just shows how great the women's division is. Plus, it gives more opponents for people like Stephanie Vaquer and Julia when she eventually comes back. But, I mean, we'll see.
And you also got to figure that Paige, Saraya, whatever you want to call her, probably doesn't have a whole lot of matches left in her anyways because of her injuries.
Right.
So putting her down in NXT and almost kind of having her be like the Maiko Satomura, the final boss type of character for the women now that Maiko's retiring. She could kind of take that position and like only really throw her in there into a storyline, into a match when you've got a dominant woman that's just conquered everybody and needs that final boss to beat. Here's Paige.
That's a good take, yeah.
Considering she was like one of the first big call-ups from NXT as far as the women's division goes. Coming up on that episode of Raw after WrestleMania, challenging AJ out of nowhere, defeating her. Like, she was the first big woman call-up, I think. Like, so for her to be that final boss character, I think would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, but we'll see. I just, like I always say, as long as the person's happy themselves, like then it's all good. Maybe she'll just go on book tours and write books. Who knows? Don't necessarily have to be in wrestling, but the fan in me would love to see her back in NXT.
Big G?
Yeah, I mean, if WWE had cleared Edge to come back to wrestle, I wouldn't see why not. They wouldn't clear her to come back to wrestle. I mean, she was in WWE for a while. She didn't wrestle. She did the whole manager role thing with Mandy and Sonya. So I could see her definitely doing something like that again if she did go back to WWE. Maybe go down to NXT and manage somebody. But yeah, I mean, like Walter said, and I've said before too, it's all up to that person whether they want to come back or not. Like you said like you said yesterday, like you just said earlier. She just came out with an autobiography. She's doing the media stuff. The other day she was on TikTok live, and there was like over 10,000 people watching. So, she's got that too, she could start an OnlyFans page. Look how successful Mandy's doing that, they're making more money than they did in WWE apparently. So it's all, like I said, it's all up to that person whether they want to or not. But like Walter said too,
Given her history, I would stay away from that kind of content. I'm just saying.
But yeah, the fan of me wants to see her come back to WWE and finish her career in WWE where she started.
Okay. I mean, I've heard rumors of Nick Aldis possibly being replaced as SmackDown GM. And I think during my hiatus, she was SmackDown GM when Daniel Bryan
Yeah.
stepped down to return to the ring.
Yeah, she was GM for a little bit too. Yeah.
So I guess there's always the possibility of that happening as well. You know, if Nick Aldis steps down, I mean, considering the way that his wife is being treated, getting ousted from LFG for a woman who's about to go in the Hall of Fame this year, who just so happens to be married to one of the other LFG coaches. You know, maybe Nick Aldis not so much a fan of the way his wife is being treated, and when his contract's over, he may not want to resign, support his wife. You know, it's always a possibility as well. I mean, look, I've left a lot of my Michelle McCool hate behind me, but considering what it appears is happening there, it's exactly why I hated her in the first place. Shoved down our throat because she was fucking The Undertaker. And to remove Mickie James as a coach on that show, someone who's years more experienced than Michelle, more accomplished than Michelle,
Right. But
just because
but
you want to have Undertaker again, it's like
I see where you're coming from, but yeah, think of like other TV shows like The Voice. You know, they never always had the same coach. I mean, they did, but like they would always switch off too, or American Idol, or.
But usually after a few years, not after the
Right.
first
And I mean,
year.
Yeah.
And I mean, why not get rid of Bully and Booker and have Aldis join the squad, and then you can have 2 husbands and 2 wives doing it.
That's true. That'd be. They didn't say why. Theoretically.
The reason that Michelle's being put in is so they could keep Undertaker on. Undertaker said he wouldn't do it without Michelle.
Oh, okay.
And so
Okay.
Mickey's being replaced for
I see
Michelle.
where you're coming from.
Yeah.
it makes sense now. All right.
At least if everything that's being reported is accurate. That's
right.
the reason.
Yeah, take it with a grain of salt.
So I'll say that it could just be a rumor, but the reports I've read in multiple reports, that's the reason. They wanted to re-sign Undertaker. Undertaker said he'd only do it if Michelle did it. So they bumped Mickey for Michelle.
Fuck the Undertaker. Like seriously.
You know, I mean, you really don't want to cut Bully. Bully's the drama on the show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, dude pushed one of the talents off of the rafters. Like, you want to keep Bully. That's some good television right there. But Booker, you could get rid of Booker.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him do anything really that like was compelling TV.
Well, I'll never say fuck the Undertaker. That's my guy regardless. But I would say the only way I can really forgive it is if they bring Mickey to the main roster, maybe like with her husband, and they do like a duel. Like if you do something like that, then we can be like, well, at least they did something else with her. Didn't just push her to the side. But if that's just like it, and you don't see her no more, yeah, that's kind of suspicious there, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you figure the way she's been treated by the company in the past. I mean, this is the same woman who got her clothes back in a trash bag.
Right.
So.
And the same woman that, with Michelle, had to be involved in that Piggy James storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Ay.
Bully's team may be losing, but Bully's team is where the more compelling drama is coming from. Plus, the dude that replaced the sexy BJ Ray guy that keeps having the drama with Bully, Cutler James, is a member of the Dark Slate. So, Bully's team may be losing, but one of his dudes is on NXT proper right now.
Yeah.
So how bad is his team really doing when one of his guys is on weekly television?
Yeah.
Bubba Bully, it's the same dude. Seriously, like, it just depends. If he's doing freaking Busted Open, he's Uncle Bully. If he's doing WWE television, he's Bubba. Same guy.
Yeah.
It's like the three faces of Foley, basically.
Or the three faces of Helms, Sugar Shane, Gregory, and the Hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm serious. Cutler James is the white dude in Dark State. The other three are brothers.
Mm-hmm.
But the one white dude that's member of Dark State is Cutler James, which is the dude that replaced Sexy BJ Ray on Bubba's team. So if you guys haven't been watching LFG, now you've got an excuse to watch it because you can see his improvement there. And it's more than likely part of what got him slated in that squad. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Charles is like, well, shit.
Mm.
All right, well, we did that topic. We'll go ahead. We'll take a quick commercial break, run a watch-along trailer, and then we come back. We'll get to our next set of topics. Stay tuned.
And now for a taste of things to come.
All the professional wrestling and more. Hell of a lot of content. Stay tuned at all the channels.
Right? Small programming note. I know the graphics for the retro PWG watch-alongs that are coming this week, say 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. We're going to push those back just a little bit to 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, because both Jeff and I are going to be on the review Tuesday, and we're going to be part of that. So it just makes it easier to push it back to that little time there.
And I'll be there too.
At least I think I'm going to be on it. I told Colin I wanted to, and he said noted.
Let me look.
I think he put the list out and he told me the week after because I have tried to put my name in it too.
It's you, JJ, Aaron, Gino, Colin, and Big Vito.
Wow, Big Vito. Okay.
Gino has become the new me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has. You need to get onto an episode with him and tell Gino to stick to his shtick.
Right.
Like, you're the original Mr. Reliable. So
go ahead.
Go ahead, G. No, go ahead, G.
No, I was gonna say, when you're doing the watch along trailer, I was on X, and I saw it yesterday too, that the Dudleys caught out the Hardy Boys for one more match.
They did. I feel like this is a match that has to be booked at an indie show. And I say that because if you do it at an indie show, you could actually get Cope and Christian Cage involved and do all three teams again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the Hardys are TNA, the Dudleys are free agents. They're not tied to WWE contract.
No, I think they have.
And then ENC are technically AEW talents.
Yeah.
So if you do it at an independent show, you could actually have like a TLC match with those three teams one more time.
Damn it, Devon! Why didn't you call them out before the benefit? All of you teams could have been on the benefit.
Right?
Oh man,
That would have been
every
dope.
company. That was literally every company you could have.
It was because Killer Cross and Scarlett were on there.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio sent a video promo.
Damn it, that's a missed opportunity. They should have did it there.
Dude, if they had done that there, that would have taken so much away from everything else, though, I think.
That's true.
Like, as cool as it would be, I feel like it would take away. I would save it. And I would wait till November and I would do it at WrestleCade.
Yeah.
Which I believe WrestleCade is North Carolina.
Yes.
So you've got the Hardys home. I believe Cope lives in North Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah.
He lives right where the hurricane.
Three of them will be right there. That's their home base. I believe Christian lives in Florida.
Yep. Tampa.
And I'm not sure where Bully and Devon currently reside. You know, I know a lot of the WWE stuff is done out of Florida. So if Bully is doing that stuff, then he'll be in Florida. Florida to North Carolina is not that far. Just a matter of where Devon is these days. But I would say make that a part of WrestleCade, man.
That would be awesome.
Because then you give till November for Christian and Cope to come together on TV, which will make it make even more sense. Because if you watch the way things are looking right now on AEW TV, and I know you've given up on it, G, but the patriarchy looks like it's falling apart. So that frees Christian up. And Rated FTR looks like it's about to implode because Dax and Cope are having beef. They have a shot at the trios titles at Dynasty. I could totally see Dax turning heel in the loss there on Cope. So that frees Cope and Christian up from their respective units to come together so that you can have Christian and Cope versus FTR versus the patriarchy on AEW television, fueling that whole story. And then now that you've got them back together, you can use them on the indies. And it would all make sense. Have it all culminate around All In time. That's July. Then you got Forbidden Door. You can use Cope and Cage as a team against some team. And just slow build it to WrestleCade.
Yeah.
I'm here for it if they did that.
You're welcome. I just totally fucking booked that shit for y'all, for real. And it makes sense. Tony Khan, take notes. This is how you tell stories that make sense.
That's one of the reasons why I gave up. Anyways, I figured I'd just throw that out. Okay.
Well, it actually was a decent little segue because some of the stuff we're going to be discussing right now is AEW related. Okay. It's not storyline related, so you shouldn't have to worry about any of that stuff, but it has been reported, take it with a grain of salt, it has been reported that Mariah May's contract is over this summer.
I did see that, yeah.
So a lot of people have been speculating, where is she going to go? Is she going to resign? Is she going to explore options, go to the WWE, which, I mean, Mariah May in that women's division with that machine behind her is just superstardom waiting to happen. But the other side of that coin is it's being heavily rumored Mina Shirakawa has been pulled from Stardom dates past the end of March, and she's AEW bound.
Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah.
So Mariah and Mina are such a tandem. They're so intertwined with each other's careers. Why would Mina go to AEW if Mariah is leaving? And is Mina coming to AEW something that'll almost guarantee Mariah re-signing so you can keep them together? Because Mariah, Mina, and Tony Storm are all really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see Mariah going to WWE without Mina. You know, so it's just one of those things. Like, why would your best friend come to the company you work in and then you leave?
Yeah.
That just doesn't make sense to me. So is Mariah staying? Is Mina being signed by AEW just a ploy? You know, and maybe Mina hasn't put pen to paper yet so that she could still end up going to the E when Mariah's contract is over. You know, what does everybody think about this? Go ahead, G.
Yeah, I saw something on X. I guess Mina did something after one of the Stardom shows saying that I think her contract, she's not re-signing after like March 31st or whatever. Yeah, if she is AEW bound, I could see Mariah staying there. I mean, AEW is the one who boosted her career, gave her first title run. You know, if she's being used properly there, then I wouldn't see why not she would stay. But if she is being booked horrible, like somebody else, that you know. Anyways, yeah, I could see Mariah May staying in AEW for the next couple years. So I'm just a bit salty, but that's just me.
Big G looking to go to Florida for a dentist appointment.
Yeah, no.
Am I wrong? Is that not who you're talking about?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And
what I figured.
Anyways, yeah.
Could you imagine a pop-up dentist practice where she goes to each city to wrestle? Like you've got a little trailer set up where she could do walk-up appointments before she goes and wrestles. Dude, how many people would come to arenas and pay her fees to have her work on their teeth just so that they could say they had Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, do dentistry work on them before the show?
Right.
Like, it would be like a blood drive, the way people freaking walk up and give blood to try to score free tickets to an upcoming event and shit. Like, you go, and you figure she could only do so many patients from like, well, we'll say 9 in the morning until 5 o'clock when showtime is. So she'd have to have her last appointment at 4.
Yeah.
Most dentistry appointments for like cleanings and shit run 45 minutes to an hour.
Yep.
Plus she'd have to have a lunch break in there.
That's true.
So 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. She could only see 6 patients. The first 6 people to walk up and willing to pay her fee to have her clean their teeth and shit, and then she goes in and wrestles.
That'd be crazy. But yeah. That's another reason why I just Anyways, Walter, what are your thoughts?
I I think Mariah May is a smart businesswoman because she's been doing these little pictures on Instagram and stuff, like in front of a Triple H poster or in front of like a thing. And I feel like all she's doing is just trying to raise her stock price. I feel like in her head she knows she's resigning, but that's how you negotiate a deal. Hey, look, I got options. These people want me. Tony Khan, I've been involved in the biggest women's story. Yes, I said the biggest because to me, Tony and her were the biggest women's story in AEW.
Yeah.
Damn near in all of wrestling because holy shit, I was invested in that story. There's no way you let her go. Tony's gonna have to.
Granted, I haven't watched AEW since the beginning, but I would guess, and Big G, you can confirm this or not, because I know you were watching in the beginning. But I would say that Tony versus Mariah, storytelling wise, is on the level of Hangman Adam Page and his quest to the title.
Yeah,
and probably those two stories are the biggest stories in AEW's history.
Yeah.
And then as far as wrestling wise, that might be the biggest women's story easily in the last 5 years. Possibly even longer. You know, maybe Sasha Bailey and that whole run in NXT culminating in, what was it, Takeover Brooklyn?
Yes.
Yep.
Correct.
Takeover Brooklyn.
Like, maybe that storytelling wise is on the level women's wise within the last decade. But I can't really think of anything else women's wrestling wise that's such a compelling story on that level. And I didn't even watch the Sasha Bailey story because I wasn't watching at that time.
I mean,
it's just what I've heard from people.
I mean,
how that was like one of the greatest women's matches of all time.
Watching from the time NXT Black and Gold was on TV. I mean, Bailey and Sasha were like the main I don't want to say the main focus, but like the main focus in the women's division down there, because like they were literally going at it like every single week, and like like you said, I mean, it culminated at NXT Takeover Brooklyn, and all the years that I've watched professional wrestling, it's damn near up there for me as like one of the greatest women's matches. So,
yeah,
and that's coming from a Britt Baker guy and a Shayna Baszler guy.
That says something too. I mean, really quickly, since the mention of Sasha Mercedes came up, I know I posted in the watch along chat, I believe. I don't think I posted in the Shenanigans chat, but have y'all seen the back and forth discourse between Mercedes and Izzy recently?
Yes.
I've seen a little bit on X, yeah.
Man, I have been wanting this match since Izzy started wrestling, and now it seems like they're heavily teasing it. And with All In being in Texas, which is, granted, Izzy's a Florida girl, but a lot of her wrestling headquarters based training is in Texas.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really hoping they capitalize on this if they don't do the Athena thing, or maybe they could do it at like Double or Nothing, because by then she will turn 18. She turns 18 May 1st. And that's the next big show. It could be kind of like a little feeder thing in the middle. But man, if they don't capitalize on this, then I don't know what to say.
They need to.
If they did, it would suck because they couldn't use the footage from NXT, because like there were moments in NXT where like Mercedes, Sasha did interact with Izzy in the crowd.
What they might be able to do, and I have two options here. Hear me out. Let me cook for a second.
Okay.
Number one, is we know Lex Luger's going in the Hall of Fame. We know there's a lot of discourse about Steen inducting him, and should Tony Khan do it?
Right.
Tony Khan says, I will let Steen induct Lex Luger if you let me use that footage for the upcoming match I'm going to book.
Okay.
Option 2 is I'm willing to bet money that Izzy's family, the Moreno family, probably has some of their own footage from like camera phones and shit from going to all those shows.
Right.
That's their own footage that they could let Tony use.
Yeah, there you go.
That's not WWE owned role. That's their own shit.
Correct. That's not bad.
So either way, like there's ways they could get the footage.
Yeah.
They could at least use the still images that exist. You know, images provided by the Moreno family type of thing. Because in addition to that, people are throwing out there, you know, what match do you want to see at Evolution 2? And people are saying Izzy versus Bailey. And they're tweeting the pictures of the two of them in the ring together from when she was a little girl.
I could see that happening. That'd be cool. I think they said they're going to be announcing Evolution before WrestleMania, like when they're supposed to be like a football.
That's what they said, but as of today, it is 21 days away, 3 weeks. So, like, where do you make that announcement?
Yeah, or it could be on WrestleMania. You know how they usually like during the commercials or whatever, they'll have the commercial for it or something like that.
Yeah, that's a possibility, but it's like I feel like there's so much shit that's going to be going on WrestleMania weekend, like with the exception of commercials and everything promoting next year's WrestleMania. Do you really want to do that?
Yeah, true.
It's like you need to focus on Backlash, which is like coming right up after that.
Like 3 weeks, literally right after. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. I was looking to see if they were going to be in Connecticut because the rumor is that it's going to be at Mohegan Sun, and they're not going to be in Connecticut between now and WrestleMania. Because they come back from the UK, they have Chicago on Friday for SmackDown.
Yeah.
Then Minneapolis for Raw, Seattle for SmackDown, Sacramento for Raw, and then they go to Vegas.
Vegas for that week.
And then Vegas for SmackDown, the Hall of Fame, everything else. So, because if they were going to be in Connecticut, that would have been the perfect opportunity to make that announcement. But
yes.
Okay.
You got to announce it soon because time's wasting.
I know. And you got to figure that Izzy is on their radar.
Yeah.
You know, all the stuff that she's done, the matches that she's done, even as young in her career as she is, like I could see them on, see, her birthday is May 1st. That's a Thursday. So if she works an indie show that weekend, I could see them showing up and doing her as a WWE ID talent. Like I could see that happening her birthday weekend. Maybe not on her birthday because not a whole lot of indie promotions run on Thursdays, but that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I know May 1st and 2nd, TNA is out here in Irvine for TV tapings coming out of Rebellion. So there's the possibility she could do some kind of extra work with TNA on those tapings. And of course, TNA has that backdoor to NXT.
Yeah.
So definitely would be interesting. Well, that covers that topic. Didn't go near as long as I thought we would about Mariah and Mina, but still. And then we even got that little impromptu topic regarding Mercedes, Izzy, and all that stuff. So, really quickly, gonna throw to another commercial break and highlight one of Izzy's big rivals here on the independent scene, who will be gracing us with her presence next Friday. Do not go anywhere.
Get it? Got it. Bueno.
To be the best at everything.
Yeah, number one. Hustle from the start. And to be the best. No excuses, we go on. Every single day we winning, 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 winning. Every single day we winning, 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 winning. Yeah, number one. Hustle from the start. And to be the best. No excuses, we go on. Every single day we winning, 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 winning. Every single day we winning, 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 winning.
Get it? Got it. Bueno.
Yeah, number one. Yeah, number one. Yeah, number one. Hustle from the start. Ain't to be the best. No excuses, we go hard. Every single day we winning, 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 winning.
Get it?
Every single day we winning, winning,
Got it.
winning, 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 winning.
Bueno.
That's right. This coming Friday, April 4th, La Princesa Tiffany Nieves will be gracing us with her presence for as much time as she is able to give us, allowing us to interview her, ask her questions. I am very much looking forward to this. Shout out to JoeyEllz for the song number 1, which was featured in that video. That is her theme song. I know she at least uses it at the NWA. I don't know if she uses it at the other independents that she does as well. But I know she uses that on NWA Power as her theme song. I added the Get It, Got It Buenos to the music from one of her promos. Just clipped the audio and put that in there a couple of times. But thank you to JoeyEllz for allowing us to use the song to hype up her appearance. God damn it, Walter. Is your wife watching still? Lee, come get him. Come get him and smack him upside the head for that one. He can have Lola. He can have Jada. He needs to leave her alone. But yeah, very much looking forward to her gracing us with her presence. Big moment for us here at the Simply Reliable Studios, getting an NWA wrestling talent to appear. Reality of Wrestling, Ohio Valley Wrestling, Mission Pro Wrestling. She's currently wrestling out here right now at the Future of Women's Wrestling show, where she is their champion. If money and transportation was not an issue, I would have gone to that so I could have introduced myself in person to her ahead of our interview. But she will be a part of Reality of Wrestling's show Glory tomorrow. Walter and I are going to be doing a watch along for that. Very first Reality of Wrestling show we're going to be covering. AJ Francis is on the card. Wes Lee is on the card. JC Jane is on the card. Along with Kaya Dream, Tiffany Nieves, and a bunch of other independent stars. There's some WWE ID talent that are going to be on the bill. So make sure you tune in for our watch along of that tomorrow as we watch that, call the action, etc., etc. So the next thing I wanted to bring up, and I'm doing these topics in a certain order on purpose, so that way hopefully Jeff can be back by the time we get to the last topic, which I know is something he's going to want to talk about. But Stephanie Vaquer successfully defended both her championships this past Tuesday on NXT. They made sure to hype up the fact that nobody has successfully defended 2 titles in one night before. Most recently, both Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch have tried. Both of them lost a title. You think back to WrestleMania 2000, Kurt Angle defended the European and Intercontinental Championships in the match and lost both titles. And Stephanie Vaquer was successful in defending both, but it's also poked the former Mandy Rose in the fact that they're calling her the first double champion in NXT history, when Mandy was the women's champion and then defeated Meiko Satomura and Blair Davenport to become the NXT UK champion. Yes, she unified the 2 titles, but the fact is that she still held both belts for at least a moment in time. And she feels that it is pathetic that they are kind of erasing her from history there. So kind of the discussion point here is, and I feel like we're all going to kind of agree on the first one, but does Mandy have a point here, or is it because one is carrying and defending 2 titles, one is unification? And then the other discussion point is, was Stephanie allowed to hold both belts just so that she could accomplish this feat? And when do we think she will lose or be forced to vacate one of the championships? G, will go to you first.
Oh, all right. As far, yeah, I saw that the other day on X and Facebook and Instagram, on all platforms about the whole Mandy Rose thing. I mean, technically, she was a double champ, but like it did eventually. The title eventually did both unify, you know. And she's not really wrestling anymore, so like she just needs to take a chill pill and just like move on. She's doing other things right now. She doesn't need to think about wrestling. You know, it's a stat like that in her mind. She thinks she's right, but like, you know, we all know wrestling's fake and the titles are props and stuff like that. So just like really just chill. And as far as Stephanie Vaquer, I mean, she won both titles on the same night, just like a certain Chris Jericho did back in the day. You know, so she's technically a double champ. You know, there was no unification, and I don't see her dropping any of the titles soon. You know, she, like you said, she just successfully defended both titles last week on NXT. If she does drop a title, it'll probably be the Women's North American Championship. You know, they want to keep her. If I'm not mistaken, Jordynne Grace came out after the match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and Julia's currently out with an injury. Hey, Jordan. I could see her dropping the NXT North Woman. Oh my god, I can't even talk. the women's North American title to Jordan Grace and keeping the NXT women's title up until Julia comes back and they have their rematch. And then possibly she loses the title back to Julia. But I mean, it's like I said before, we all know it's all fake, it's all storyline based. We know well, they know who's gonna win in advance, but we don't. But yeah. Like I said, Mandy just needs to chill, and I consider Stephanie a double champ.
Walter?
On a technicality, I understand Mandy's point, but once the title, once she won, it was automatically unified. It was never intended to be a double champ. So I feel like on the technicality, they're right. Stephanie is the first double champ and the first to successfully defend it. I don't think they're being that petty and trying to erase her. And who knows? This could be all the work to get her to come back. Like, who knows? We never know. Like, they could. We talk about cooking. In the end, it could be all the cook and get her to come back and be like, "Hey, why don't you defend one of them titles against me since y'all are racing or something?" You never know. I'm not saying it will, but you never know. And I think eventually, in terms of Stephanie, I think what you and I been calling for. They're gonna let her defend it a few times, and then Ava or somebody's gonna see that it's wearing on her and force her to give up one of the titles. I don't think you have her lose one of the titles. Then the only way I can see you losing the title, heaven forbid, is a triple threat in which she's not pinned. But they're kind of going multi-person match heavy right now, and I kind of don't want to see that. So, but I mean, it is technically, if you want to go, the safest way for her to lose it without taking a pinfall, to be honest. But that's not what I want to see. So, I mean, but who am I in terms of that? So, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just sick of multi-person matches right now, especially when we're around that season where, Money in the Bank is going to happen. So that's already 2 matches with at least 5-6 people in that match lately. So I don't want to see it. And it looks like there's probably the Intercontinental title or the U.S. title looks like it's going to be multi-person too. So
Multi-mania.
yeah, exactly. So but yeah, that's I don't think they're erasing Mandy. I think she's just trying to troll the fans or something, hopefully, but there's no way they're trying to erase her from history. All she did was do some adult stuff. It's not like, she went the 2000 and what was it, 2004, I believe, Royal Rumble winner, where the person has to throw themselves on the rope and didn't actually happen. So it's not like she did all that. You know what I'm saying? She don't have to erase her that way. So
That's actually something I was going to bring up to Safet's point, is like, as far as if WWE is erasing Mandy Rose, why is her title history still at the WWE website?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure his is still on there too. They just don't acknowledge him very much on television. So, but I'm pretty sure if you go to the title history, he's still there. It's just like the WWE encyclopedia is like, he's still in there. He's not prominently featured, like huge page full thing.
Yeah.
But he's in there.
Yeah. And they didn't real quick, on the 2K25 showcase for the Bloodline, the Tamina showcase, no mention of Superfly Jimmy Snuka in there. All they did was mention her being part of the Bloodline, being part of that family.
Interesting. So we did get a couple of super chats in.
Yes.
Arlene, I am going to hold off on that because that is part of the main event discussion. So I will hold off on that super chat until we get there. I am trying to stall a little bit before we get to that topic, hoping that Jeff will come back. He is currently at the happiest place on earth and had to dip out because it was firework time. And we didn't want to get copyright pinged for all that music coming over our air and everything. So, but I will get to your question when we get to that. But in the meantime, Emmanuel did send in a $2 super chat. Thank you. Does Fatal Influence now look weak with what happened?
No.
That's an interesting thing to fathom because Fatal Influence jumped Stephanie after the first match. And then Fallon couldn't defeat her to regain the North American title.
Mm-hmm.
So Stephanie went into the match, weakened, taped ribs after Fatal Influence jumped her, and Fallon still couldn't beat her. And then on top of that, JC Jane lost her match on TNA this week.
Mm-hmm.
Which, granted, we knew she wasn't going to beat Masha Slamovich, but for the team to eat 2 L's against champions in a week, one of them who was weakened by a beatdown previously in the night, doesn't exactly look good for them. Walter, you're the other big NXT guy here.
You got to do something to have them recover because, yeah, you got a good point. It does. And the fact that it even spilled over to NXT, you got to do something. I don't know if it says more about them or more about Stephanie, how she survived that. But, yeah, it's not a good visual. Not at all. So, it's giving off the weak vibes. Like maybe they need to start over. What do they call it? Back to the drawing board is the old figure of speech.
Yeah,
they got to come up with something.
Something. G, does it make them look weak now that you kind of heard what else happened?
Yeah, I mean, I did watch NXT this past week. I did see, on X and on YouTube the clips from TNA. I try to keep up with TNA through clips and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, there was the beatdown. It's 3-on-1. You want to try to make them look strong, but then in the end, you lost the match. And then, JC Jane, like you said, she wasn't going to beat Masha. So, I mean, at the moment it does, but we know in a couple weeks, they'll have like another successful beatdown and get their wins back, So it's not, is it the end for them? No, it's just a road bump. That's all. It's just a road bump. So I don't know why when he said Fatal Influence, I was thinking Toxic Attraction. I had to think of it now, like Fatal Influence. I'm like, because like we were talking about Mandy Rose, and because Jason Jane was part of. And I'm like, is he talking about Toxic Attraction? And he mentioned Fatal Influence. I was like, oh my god, because the groups are similar.
They are very much so.
And so is Gigi's faction.
Chemical
group.
X.
Yeah.
Like they haven't officially called them that yet, but that's what they usually post when they post on social media.
Yeah, seeing that, yeah. So
I do agree with what Arlene said here, that Fatal Influence needs a bigger star than Jasmine. She's the one that doesn't make a lot of sense and has had like one match.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you gotta think about it. It's like when Evolution came around, Orton and Batista, they were the young guys. So Jasmine's gonna be the young girl, the young female, getting all that knowledge from JC Jane and Fallon Henley, who've been there a little bit longer.
But to your point, Orton and Batista were getting regular matches. Like Jasmine isn't getting used a whole lot.
That's true too. Yeah.
She's getting used about as much as Flair was in Evolution.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard anything. She's not like injured or anything, is she?
No,
Or like,
not because she still comes out with them, does the entrance. She's there ringside. She just doesn't wrestle that much. And like,
she could be very green. Like,
yeah, but you need to give her those reps to get her to go better. She needs the reps.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's an interesting take there. Chemical X is way hotter than Fatal Influence. They should take the name from them. See, here's my thing there. Shotzi has kind of been MIA these last few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Tatum, she's cute, but she ain't all that, at least not to me. At least not to me. I'm not saying that she's hideous. She just doesn't do it for me.
Okay.
Shotzi and Gigi do. On the flip side of things, I liked JC when I first started watching. Her and Cora were the first two that really piqued my interest when I first started watching NXT. Fallon, I love the cowgirl shtick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss her old theme song, the saddle up, saddle up. And Jasmine is cute. I'm not really sure as far as she goes. Like, if I just go based off of like her entrance, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see it. So it's like, I feel like Jasmine just edges Tatum for me, which is why I would give the edge to the Fatal Influence trio that it currently is. But that's an interesting take. And I mean, we are three dudes. So what do you think, Walter? You're the one that put all the mamacitas comment. What do you think about this take?
I agree with you. Shotzi doesn't really do it for me, and the other two don't really. I don't know. Fatal Influence is fine. It's fine there. Oh my god! If you put Jada and Lola in like a faction and just
who would be the third, Walter?
Nikita.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Nikita the lioness.
Yeah. My god. Jeez.
Trying to get Walter in trouble now.
Right? I can't even fathom to think what that would be like.
No. I got it for Walter. I got it. Lola, Jada, Lash.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah.
That's better than Get It Got
Lola,
It Bueno.
Jada, Stephanie.
That's definitely Get It Got It Bueno.
Oh my god. Because I'm talking about Fallon Henley. Who was her tag team partner that got drafted to Raw but is injured?
Kiana.
Okay. I could not think of her name. It's just random. I just could not think of her name.
And I believe she's cleared to come back. They just haven't found a place for her.
Yeah. So you mean
during her injury, she got surgical enhancements.
So she's gonna be on the next round of releases. Okay.
Probably.
Good to know. Because they did the same thing with Blair Davenport. They put her on the main roster, did a couple of things with her, and then bam.
Yeah, the one that I'm most upset that they got rid of is Isla Dawn. I liked
Right?
her over Alba Fire. No offense to Alba Fire, but
And
I
now,
liked Isla Dawn more.
and here they are doing this stupid comedy crap again with her and Piper.
Hey, you
Right.
know what? At least her and Piper are a team. It may be slightly comedic, but I like the two of them together.
I do. Don't get me wrong. I like it too, but like the wrestling in suits now, I'm like, come on, like.
It
And they've
works
got the
for
whole
me.
Scottish connection going on, so
Yeah.
It would work more if Chelsea was Scottish too.
Now,
but
why couldn't they have kept Isla and put this in with Isla too? I don't know. Anyways. Oh my god, we could talk so much crap about them releasing people and how to better book them, but careful watch your kid get booked to sleep on the couch. I'm sure he probably already sleeps on the couch. Probably sleeps in the chair when he's in trouble.
right? How comfy is that chair? Just recline it back and you good to go?
Yep. Actually, it's pretty comfortable.
That's fair. We still don't know why Alba joined Chelsea.
Because she believes in the United States of Chelsea Green. Don't need a reason.
Red, white, and green.
Yeah.
From one hot mess to another.
Man, they were cheering all three of them last night and booing the heck out of Selena, but they were in They're in the UK. You know, it's all there connected.
Selena's another one that's Alistair Black, Malachi, but whatever you call him. That's one lucky some bitch.
Oh, and now we're just really going off the tangent. It's okay. It's only the three of us.
Excuse me. Right?
I was gonna say something. I can't remember.
It's just hard to take her serious because I don't know. I don't know if it's her height. It's something that's. I guess it's the way she's been booked previously.
Zelina?
I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
Like, she's so short, even compared to the other women, that it's like some of the girls tower over her. You know, and it's like you have to at least be this tall to talk shit and make it believable. And she's like here.
You know what gets me is that she beat Piper Niven in the first Queen of the Ring, and now now she looks pathetic against Piper Niven. Like,
The question is, what did that mean? The Queen of the Ring didn't mean jack shit. Like,
no, it didn't, but well, back then it didn't, but when Nia did, I guess a little bit. Anyways,
I mean, her biggest moment is the backlash in Puerto Rico, like the way she came out to the crowd. That's just
that's
I'll be right back,
up there.
guys. I'll be right back. Go ahead and keep spitballing between you two. I'll be right back.
Okay. She's
I was
never
gonna
gonna
say
get to that point again, and it's a shame, you know.
Yeah.
She's very pretty too, and she's got some skills. It's just
I
don't know. I feel like she's gonna get reduced when Alistair comes back. Is it gonna be Malachi? I might as
I
well
think he's
start
gonna be
following him
He's gonna go back to Alistair Black. I think
okay.
that's what.
He might be reduced to. She might be reduced to just coming out with him too.
I don't know. I mean, they kept them separated when they were there together. Well, I think
She's drafted to SmackDown, and his little promos seem to be.
Yeah.
I mean, at least I'm assuming that's him.
Yeah.
It seems to be
I
on
was thinking-
SmackDown.
What they should have done when she was drafted back to SmackDown was put her back with Andrade. They were a good pair. So
That's true.
I don't know. I guess when they book it, they think it's the best product that they're putting out for us. So, but so like when Virtue asked me the other day on the review chat, like who my flavor of the month was, so I told it. I put it like this. I was like, I think Britt's gonna go to WWE eventually, just because I don't know what's going on with her in AEW. If it's the whole behind the scenes thing, you know. And then I'd say with Shayna, because now that Sonya's gone, you haven't seen Pure Fusion Collective on TV. So I was gonna say put Zoe and Shayna back on NXT. You know, Shayna, I think Shayna needs that NXT rub again. Be that dominant force, dominant badass. You know, but like I don't know. Like I said, we just sit here and just enjoy the show.
That's still the worst name ever.
Oh God, I know.
I don't know why they just don't take my idea. When you had Ronda, you had these badass MMA people. You should have taken them, put them in one stable, and did like a UFC MMA badass. Like nobody can whoop me.
Yeah,
They had
exactly.
it. They had Ronda. They had Shayna. Oh,
Well-
you needed one more like badass like MMA person, and you
Well,
just don't.
I don't know if you remember, but down in NXT, Shayna was running with Marina and oh my God, what's that other girl's name? Jessamine Duke or whatever. They were, they were doing their thing. They could have all went up to the main roster with Ronda and been the like they were calling it the 4 horsewomen of MMA.
Mm-hmm.
No, but what do we know, all right, Walter?
Missed opportunity, and then you got like this whole new crop. Like Lola is a legit. Like I know I joke about Mamacita her being pretty. She's a legitimate badass in terms of MMA. Like
Yeah.
you got this new crop of people doing it. Like even what's her name that they released was an MMA fighter, wasn't she? The one that's part of Pure Fusion Collective, they just let it go,
Yes,
didn't
Sonya.
she? Yeah, Sonya was MMA too. Like
Yes,
you
yeah,
had it.
yeah.
You just never let them be.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know, dude. Whoa.
Arlene says she sent you a question, PayPal question. So you want to check that?
Thank you. Let me see. I thought I felt my phone vibrate. I try not to look. Let's see. PayPal. Need a second to log in. I don't have it like where it saves your login.
Oh. Yeah, man, they do lack character and charisma, but like you.
But a part of it is that right there is the way they book them. They don't let them be themselves. Like these people got TikTok and stuff, and they get to be themselves, and we see the fun side of them. Like,
Right.
why don't they like transfer that out? Transfer that on paper. And by the way, I got a question. Where the F is Nia Jackson?
That's a good question. Here we go again. They booked her as the women's champ for a while, and then after the Royal Rumble, I don't know. I guess at this moment they have nothing for. Oh my God. What do GCW's board? Yo, that'd be the next Bloodsport they do, they need to put Lola Vice in there.
She said, Walter, if you had to be forced between Jada and Lola to get the meet and greet and sign autograph and spend the day with, who would it be?
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Better say the right answer. Better say your wife.
No, it's out of these two.
Damn,
Jada. You know what? I like Jada. Like I like them both, but I would say Lola, and the reason why is because we would talk about MMA and stuff. We would have more in common, and I'm such an MMA guy that I feel like we would be able to talk about that and talk about the matches and not just wrestling. It'll be like the subject matter, and because we have that common interest, I think it'll go better. But I wouldn't mind either way. But damn it, I'll die. That'll be the day I die after that. That's something that's probably what I'll dream about one day.
Oh my God!
I missed part of the question. What was your super chatted question?
If I had to be forced to choose between Jada and Lola to get to meet and greet, a signed autograph, and then spend the whole day with, who would it be?
I'd go Jada.
I want to say that too, but I just feel like
I get your reasoning for
yeah,
Lola.
Yeah. It's the spend the whole day part that got me. If it was just meet and greet, sign the autograph, then I would have picked Jada. But like to hang out with, I feel like me and Lola would be able to talk, and it wouldn't be all weird because it'll be about MMA and stuff.
Right. What about you, G? If you had to answer that question, you know, let's make it more G related. Britt or Shayna?
Oh, jeez. Damn. I'd say I would.
See?
Yeah, I'd go with Britt, just because of the fact, one, she's a dentist, so you know she can give me a dental cleaning, and then she's also a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so like we'd have a lot to talk about too. Maybe, I mean, I've met her twice already, so
okay,
at a meet and greet.
See what's going on here.
Charles is like, everyone's getting put on the spot tonight. Yeah. All right, JJ, Hugh. I'm trying to think for you. You're a big Mercedes fan right now, and that's great.
Oh no, I am not.
That's why.
No, I am not, man. Mercedes and Candice LeRae are like the top two hated for me.
Whatever you put, you got to put Tiffany Nieves
Okay.
in his because of
Yeah,
that.
all right, there you
What's
go.
happening Friday?
Out of the two hated people that you hate the most, Mercedes or Candice.
See, that's not fair. Y'all weren't two that you hated the most.
All right, who are your two favorite? I don't think you've ever said your two favorite.
You know what, G? I'm gonna go ahead and play your game. I'm gonna answer that question, and I have a legitimate reason here. I'm gonna go with Mercedes, just because I've already spent a day with Candice, and that's why I fucking hate the bitch.
Okay.
Because I wasn't supposed to spend the day with her. I was supposed to be spending it with Joey Ryan at Disneyland, and that bitch showed up, stole his ass from hanging out with us, and that's part of why I can't stand the heifer.
Oh yeah, Jade.
I already spent the day with her. Mercedes at least would be something different.
Might get cussed out.
And in all fairness to Mercedes, as much as I shit talk her, number one, I do feel like she's more attractive than Candice.
Okay.
And number two, she did put on one of the matches that I picked as my top 10 WrestleMania main events of all time when Jeff and I did that list. Her match with Bianca.
Right. Okay.
So.
Oh my God, I totally forgot that Jade Gargill was one of your.
You should have said Tiffany.
I was gonna say, dude, the whole chat is like telling you, like, dude, Jade Cargill, JJ likes.
I just drew it.
I actually have a Jade T-shirt.
So do I.
I do too. Her first one that she came out in WWE.
Mm-hmm. Same. It's the same one I had.
I got her new
Charles here, Jade Cargill. Look.
I think my
so Fed knows how I feel about Candice. He's got the hashtag purple hair twat waffle.
I got Jade's new shirt, but damn, it's taking forever to cut. I ordered it like a month ago. That chunky still ain't here. It's not even shipped yet.
It might be one of those like special event shirts. Yeah.
The Jade Cargill's definitely one. And then Walter's saying use Tiffany Nieves because she's definitely one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few that I do like. Willow is one.
Okay.
I do love me some Willow.
I would love to hang with Willow. Willow just
Yeah,
seems
seriously,
fun.
she seems like she would be fun as hell to kick it with. Like, she seems like the type that you could just go and like kick it at like Disneyland, and it would be all smiles and laughs.
Yeah. Hell, I think my wife would leave me for Jade Cargill. Like, she doesn't watch all the time with me, and I mean, she knows Jade Cargill well enough. She's like, yeah. She's like, I turned gay for Jade Cargill. I was like, oh my god.
My wife said she's gorgeous. She's like, damn.
Like the first time she saw Jade at the Rumble, she's like, damn.
Dude, did you see Jade put Sheamus to shame when they were doing the workout? Sheamus is like, how the fuck do you do this? Like, just the planks alone. She does like this consistent plank for like at least 3 minutes, I think it is, or something like that. Sheamus was like out of it after like 30 seconds.
Let me see what's going on with Senor Meacham.
Senor Meacham.
Senor Hef.
My name is Jeff.
Damn, I haven't played this game in so long. I totally forgot what to do.
What are you playing?
Resident Evil 4.
Ah, okay. That's right. You said that you were playing that earlier today. Or yesterday. Because it's already freaking Sunday. My God. I'm sorry.
I just sent him a message.
Yeah, pineapples should not be on pizza. Damn it.
Wait, he said it should? I just lost respect for Sheamus.
No, Charles. Yeah, he says, I felt sorry for Sheamus, except for him saying pineapple should be on pizza. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And Charles was like, what's the next topic going to be after this? Right?
It's a main event. We just tried to give Jeff the chance to come back.
That's basically what I messaged him, was like, you know, if you're going to come back, we'll stall. If you're not, we'll move on.
Ray J said he wants to hang. Zaya Brookside would be pretty cool, too.
Yeah, she seems like she'd be fun.
She'd be chill.
She's one of the things that I like most in the knockout division.
She's come a long way since the NXT UK days.
You know what male wrestlers I want to hang out with? Because I kind of hung out with them like a little bit for like a few minutes at a time, and I got some pictures with them, and they're fun. But it's New Day. Like, I just want to sit and talk with some games and stuff with them, and like really hang out. Because I like bumped into them like 6-7 times during that GamerCon, and they kept effing with me. They kept like messing with me, like tapping my shoulder and disappearing, like doing funny stuff. Like, I think it was that they were just like that I was dressed as Cuphead, because they were like cool with the kids and everything and took pictures. Like, I really would like that opportunity to just like hang with them one day. Heel or not,
right.
I don't care.
He said that he will be right there. He got caught up in other traffic, so I will take a moment, run another commercial. Showed all the watch-alongs earlier. This is just the WrestleMania one, and there still may be more stuff added to this one too. This is everything that we know now, beginning April 1st, going through the Raw after Mania. And we may even add the NXT after Mania as well. So we shall return after this.
And now for a taste of things to come.
all the wrestling. You know, we as much as we give Vin shit, when I hear that music, man, I just think of that old school Mania stuff.
Same. Same. You know, I know it's not the original WrestleMania theme, but that is, for me, when I think WrestleMania, that's the theme that always comes to my mind.
Alright.
Especially since that was Linda McMahon's theme for so long.
Yeah.
Like, that's, you know, the DVDs that I used to own, that was the theme song on it. So that's always what I think of when I think WrestleMania.
All right, so I just got $7 from the Dominguez.
Okay.
First from Emmanuel. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, it's weird. You gotta like transfer the money out first and then go
Okay,
back.
so Emmanuel asked me, worst WrestleMania has to be with 28, right? If not, then which one?
Worst
28.
WrestleMania or the build?
Yeah, he said worst WrestleMania has to be with 28, right? If not, then which one? Emmanuel, can you elaborate?
Honestly, if he means the worst in general, WrestleMania 9 immediately pops in my head.
Yeah, 9 and 11 are the first two that come to mind if we're thinking the worst
And then
manias.
Arlene asked me, so with yesterday's on SmackDown, they revealed that they will be inducting a WrestleMania match
Yes.
into the Hall of Fame this year with Austin and Bret at WrestleMania 13, with both of them being there. By the way, Bret Hart is now going to be a 3-time WWE Hall of Famer. Anyways, she asked this question. We can all go around real quick. She said, what match would you add to the Hall of Fame for WrestleMania?
Well, let's go ahead and bring in, returning to the shenanigans, the man who binge watches WrestleManias every year because normally he has nothing better to do, but now he has a job and the Disneyland and everything. So I don't even know if he's going to be able to do all that this year.
Yeah, no, not happening. Not even remotely.
So Big G, it was your question. We'll let you go first. So in case you missed it, Jeff, the super chat from Los Dominguez is with the induction of the WrestleMania 13 match announcement. If you could induct a match into the Hall of Fame, what match would it be? So Big G, it was his super chat. We'll let him go first.
All right.
Okay.
I would have to go with. I'm gonna go with. Shit. I'm gonna go with Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon at King of the Ring 2001.
Okay. You know what? Let's do two. Do a WrestleMania one and a non-WrestleMania.
Yeah. I was going to say
because I'm not sure if they're, you know, obviously the first one they're doing is a Mania match.
Right.
Are all future matches going to be WrestleMania matches?
Right.
You know, or are they going to dip out to other ones?
All right.
So
Well, here's an easy one. Shawn Taker WrestleMania 25.
Okay.
There you go.
Meacham.
Okay, for WrestleMania, I got to go with Michaels and Flair. Notice a common thread here with Shawn Michaels being these great moments, matches wise. Just throwing it out there, kids. Non-WrestleMania. God, there's so many over the years.
Right. Shane and Kurt just popped into my head.
Right. Yeah. I would let that be a Greg thing if he was here. Just because reasons. But I'm actually gonna go with the 1992 Royal Rumble.
Okay. Title on the line. Flair wins it with a tear. Woo! In my eye.
Yeah, but yeah, it's again, WrestleMania 24 and Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair was just such a special moment for the universe, for the two of them, for everybody that was in the audience, including my father and I. It was just one of the most beautifully told stories WrestleMania has ever featured. So
Yeah.
Okay. For non-WrestleMania, I'm going to go Money in the Bank, Cena Punk.
Okay.
I mean, it was the pipe bomb to that broke NoDQ.com. So I'm just saying, like, plus Jeff and I were there for the pipe bomb. So holds a little bit of historical significance for me.
yeah, so yeah, it broke ODQ.com, and then the next day the Vegas Heat broke the rest of us.
That's right. That's right. And Mikey
And we almost were
wound
broke
up
trying to get
very
Mikey
good.
laid. It,
Oh my god.
I was like, I'm reaching. We saying the same. Anyway, yeah.
As far as a WrestleMania match goes, man, that's where I feel like it's hard, because I heard that announcement yesterday. I was watching Denise Salcedo's watch along from work before I actually clocked in. And so I kind of knew about it before I started, and then I watched the show this morning so I could see everything that transpired. The thing that sticks out for me is its iconic moments.
Mm-hmm.
So the match, while I feel like it needs to be good, I feel like the moment of the match is really what the focus is. And when I think of Brett versus Austin, you think of the double turn in the match.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that that's the match going in this year almost makes me wonder if the main event is going to feature a double turn. You know, that seed's already running around in my head. So I'm going to throw that out there right now, just in case it happens. You know, can you hear me, Jeff? Okay. So what I was saying while you were off was the thing that really caught me about the matches is its iconic moments. And when you think of WrestleMania 13, you think of the double turn. As great as the match was, it was the moment that stands out, and I think that's why it's going in. So I'm predicting right now the main event is going to have a double turn. And that's why that particular match is going in this year. Little foreshadowing.
I would not be mad with that.
Question: Did Paul make it clear that it was night 2?
He did not.
Okay. Because Punk did say that wasn't the favor.
He did. Which I've been speculating about that for a minute too. Punk straight up fucking Aladdin'd Paul Heyman and Roman. If you think about Aladdin cons Genie to freeing them from the Cave of Wonders without using a wish.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened here. Punk got his main event, but that wasn't his favor. He didn't ask for it to be the main event. They put it in the contract thinking that was going to be his favor, but because he didn't ask for it, he didn't wish it, that wasn't his favor. And that's why Heyman and Roman were both like, God damn it, afterwards.
So what we need is
fucking hustled the Genie.
Yeah. We need to have Paul like after next week in all blue going, okay, you bad Punk, but no more freebies.
But as far as my Mania match, you know, going back to it's the moment.
Okay.
I'm going to go WrestleMania 30, Brock Undertaker.
Oh my
The
God!
ending of the streak.
My
The
God.
moment.
I
The
can
match is almost secondary to the moment. The streak ending.
I can still see to this day that one guy, the white shirt with his eyes just like shocked.
I got you, Arlene. So go back and watch WrestleMania 13, Stone Cold versus Brett. Brett went into that match definitively as a babyface. Austin went into that match definitively as a heel. Throughout the course of the match, Brett started to get desperate and use heel tactics, and the crowd flipped. And in that match, Austin became the babyface and Brett became the heel, and that was their trajectory going forward. Coming after that, Brett was a heel in the States and a babyface in Canada, got the Hart Foundation back together, and was completely anti-America, and Austin was the good guy that then would win the Royal Rumble the next year, start bucking authority and the system and Vince McMahon, and became the champion, beating Shawn Michaels at Mania 14.
Yep.
And it all started in that match from that flip.
To this day, that is Aaron Rick's favorite match of all time.
Yep. I think for him, it's the moment too. I mean, the match.
So it's one of those. They'd both been heading toward that trajectory. Brett, when he came back, he became a bitter legend because he wasn't getting his just due. He kept getting screwed, ironically enough. And people were getting behind Steve. And it was in that moment when Brett just beat the holy high dog out of Austin, and Austin refused to die.
Yeah. And the fact that Austin passed out, he didn't tap.
Exactly.
He didn't get pinned. He passed out from the pain of the sharpshooter, blood dripping down his face, selling millions of t-shirts later on, the blood from a Stone shirt.
God, I want that shirt so bad.
Walter, we didn't get yours. Matches in the Hall of Fame, one WrestleMania match, one non-Mania match.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you with the whole. It kind of depends on what the criteria is. I wish they kind of tell us what the criteria is. Are you looking for matches? Are you looking for moments?
I tried to look for both. I tried to look for a solid match that had an iconic moment attached to it.
Okay. So for WrestleMania, I would go Macho Man versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Nice.
WrestleMania 3.
Ridley was one on my list that I was contending with.
Yeah, and then for the moment alone and the story and what it led to, and the fact that I think is the greatest debut of a wrestler, I would go with the original Hell in a Cell, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, because it led to Kane, it led to so much stuff, and an entire different new stipulation. So I would go with those two matches.
That's fair. That's definitely
I was going to say, should they just call this award the Shawn Michaels Match Award at this point?
Right?
Well, it's either going to be that or the Bret Hart Award. I mean, shit.
God,
if we're just talking WrestleMania matches, Bret versus Owen has to go in there. Bret versus Shawn has to go in there. The Iron Man match. There's two more Bret matches for that Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Say that again, Jeff. You really broke up. You got choppy.
So once you leave, you must come back into the bathroom and make sure you bring all of your belongings with you.
Sorry about that. I was saying, once Bret became Bret Hart, it was no longer.
And we lost Jeff again.
Yeah, but I agree. It's either Bret Hart or Shawn because when you think about it, you got to do, like you just said, Bret, Shawn. You also got to do a WrestleMania 10 ladder match because it like started all ladder match. Not really, but you know, they give the credit for that.
It was the defining one.
Yeah, yeah. So you said, G said Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. There's actually two of them to choose from. And if you're going to make it about WrestleMania matches, they're pretty much a lot of them going to have Undertaker in them too. Those three.
I don't know because like Undertaker's first few were garbage.
Yeah, they were.
Once he after like was it WrestleMania 17 starting on there, I would say with Triple H and Flair. Maybe not 19 with A-Train and Nathan Jones.
Well, but you can make up for it with the one from Sid from 13.
Yeah, true.
That was a decent one. The original 14 one with Kane.
Yep. Yeah. So maybe like 13.
There's a couple in the past that you would be able to pull from, but like Jake the Snake, Superfly Snuka, Giant Gonzalez. Like, no. Those just.
It's before a lot of those are before they actually acknowledged the streak. He was just coincidentally booked the win. I think it's when he beat Flair when they actually started acknowledging, hey, he's got a streak.
Yeah, because he did the whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 gimmick.
Yeah.
And that's when they started taking, all right, well, we got something here with this guy.
Apparently the Mouse Mafia is working overtime. Jeff said to continue on without him.
Okay.
Which is a bummer because the main event topic is the man who we cannot see.
Oh, we can't see now.
Yeah, now we can. Somebody actually pointed that out to me. Like, if you pay attention to the logo and everything, the C is in front of the no sign now.
Yeah.
Instead of behind it. But John Cena, want to talk about the second promo. Hearing a lot of stuff online. People hating on it still. People still saying that, you know, they aren't getting what they want out of the deal. And then we did get in our super chat from Arlene about it, saying, I think Cena needs to do more to get the fans to turn the fans against him so he can get more heat, I think. Even so he can get even the biggest Cena supporter to turn against him. What do you guys think? Fans cheering aren't helping his heel run. Go ahead, G. And really quickly, Ash, I do see your super chat. We'll get to that after we get to this topic. Oh shit! This fool went and got his retirement tour hat just so he could talk about Cena.
All right. I'm not gonna go get my hoodie. So yeah. I thought the his promo on Monday was similar to the one prior to that on the Monday before. You know, he really didn't go more into depth about, you know, like, we want to know why he did what he did and joined forces with The Rock. You know, next week, Monday, they're going to be in London, and that's going to be his last time he's going to be on TV until WrestleMania. So, are we going to get another Are we going to get something deeper, or are we just going to get another well, I was in an abusive relationship with you guys and this and that, or could The Rock possibly show up in London next week too? There's that too, I've seen things, I've heard things that like speculation about him showing up next week. Because like if he did what he did with The Rock and The Rock hasn't shown up, I mean The Rock can still show up, prior to WrestleMania himself, but I think I said it on the spaces when I was on Walter the other day, like what was the point of doing that with The Rock if The Rock's not gonna show up, but and the fans really aren't cheering it. I mean, they're doing the whole "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks" thing. I mean, they've been doing that for years. They're chanting "F you, Cena," or "Shut the F up, Cena." So I mean, it's not really cheering. He's getting the reaction, and like he even said on Monday, he's like, it's so easy with you guys. I say the darndest thing, and you guys tell, fuck you, Cena, So I don't know. I don't think it's all that bad. Me personally, I just want a little bit more of an explanation why he did what he did with The Rock, and I don't want Cody to come out there in the middle of his promo. I want Cody to come out, or Cena to come out first, and then Cody to come out. Especially this last Monday, if this is the last time they're going to be in the ring together, I want them cooking each other. I want Cena to cook Cody, and I want Cody to cook Cena. I want that verbal art, art. I guess not argument, but that banter between them. I want to see if Cody can hang with Cena. We saw in the past when Cena had the feud with Roman. Well, this is pre OTC Roman, but Cena cooked him really bad.
Yeah.
But then we go to, what was it, like SummerSlam a couple years ago? I mean, Roman held his own. And I think Cody could hold his own too, He left WWE, he did what he needed to do to prove to himself that he could hang with the big guys. And I think he can hang with Cena. And I want to see that on Monday, before WrestleMania, because if not, then all we're going to do is see Cody on SmackDown or on Raw whenever he comes out and just talk more about Cena. And we're like, well, Cena's not here to defend himself. So, like, okay. So, but that is my take on all this stuff.
All right. So I've mentioned in the spaces a couple times, and I don't know if you were in there for it.
Probably not,
but I've said a couple of times that I feel like Cena has already told us why he did it. Okay. We just didn't realize at the time he was telling us.
Okay.
Royal Rumble press conference, when he talked about always doing what's best for business.
Right. Okay.
I think that's why he did it.
Okay.
Because he wanted to walk into the WrestleMania in the main event, win number 17, because it's what's best for business. And I've always done what's best for business.
Right.
I think that was him telling us why he joined The Rock. A month before he joined The Rock, and we didn't even realize it at the time. It wasn't until going back and looking at it later, and it's like, because everybody talked about how he sounded very heel at that press conference.
Yeah. Yeah. Saying he deserved it, So.
And I want to see them really trade punches back and forth too and cook each other. And I think I've got a beautiful cook for Cena. Not that Cena needs help writing promos, but I want Cody to come out wearing this.
Oh yeah.
And Cena could point out, aren't you the one that quit the company so you could try to become elite? How did that work out for you?
Yeah.
You want to talk about cooking? There you go. Let's cook.
And the Rock Cell didn't cook. Okay.
Just like how Punk was walking to the ring and saw Drew McIntyre on the car hood with real glass. Totally a throwback to Jack Perry, which was in London.
Right.
Just pointed all that out, like Jesus Christ, y'all. But I mean, dude, to a certain extent, I agree with you. And to a certain extent, like I said, I feel like we've already got the information. We just didn't realize it at the time. Cena's the type of guy that gives it to us, and we have to put all the pieces together like a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
As far as The Rock, I would say don't use him this week. Use him next week. Use him at the first one that Cena won't be at.
Okay. So, what is it, Minnesota?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even have him be on SmackDown in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because that's Cody's show anyway.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Chicago is such a hot town. Let
Very
Cody
cool.
come out there and do his thing. And here comes the final boss. It's like, oh shit, okay. You know, Walter.
Yeah, I got no problem with it. You got a good point with he told us without telling us is because he knows what's best for business and that's why he did it. Yeah, everybody pointed out that sounded heelish when he first did that. But I got no problem with it. But I went ahead and wrote an entire promo for Cena. Like I even DM'd you it. Like I got a whole reason. He's like, it's funny that you said everybody wants to know why I did it, Big G. That was literally the first words I used. Like why I did it. Like I wrote in there, and you know, if you're gonna continue what he said, you could say I didn't sell my soul because you guys took my soul 25 for the last 25 years. You know what I'm saying? He keeps blaming us, so you might as well continue that. But I don't know why they involved The Rock. I just feel like it's a whole ego thing, or maybe a last minute. They pivoted because they wasn't sure about The Rock, and that's what happened. Where do we go from here? I think they need because he's filming and everything, they just can't touch each other or something. Because final touches to movies, business reasons. But I do want to see them cook each other, I guess, because that's all you can do verbally. I don't think they're gonna let them touch one another until WrestleMania. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. And then if literally Cena is not gonna be there until WrestleMania, now you leave Cody to carry the whole program alone. So maybe you do have to bring in The Rock, but I do want to see what they go from here. It'll be interesting. But with that new shirt, JJ, that's a good recipe to cook there. And then for him to say that too, like you went somewhere to be elite. Like the whole Jack Perry thing, like I swear, because they did Punk walking by Drew. I wanted to hear Drew like cry, like, "Oh, I'm in pain," and CM Punk just says, "Cry me a river," and walked away while he was doing it. Like that would have been
Oh my
funny as shit.
God.
Yeah, that would have like I feel like that was a missed opportunity. Like that would have been funny as shit if they did that.
Well, as far as the point about Cena having or Cody having to carry the feud, I think Ray J may be onto something here.
Mhm.
He says we may get another Rock beating Cody by the bus spot. SmackDown's in Chicago, which is the same place Rock attacked him last year.
Right.
So they could do a whole Rock beating Cody by the bus, write him off of TV for a couple of weeks so that he comes back maybe on the Raw Go Home to Mania. That way neither person has to try to carry the feud in Cena's absence.
You know, in full circle with these whole rumors with Austin and everything, I watched that beating again, and he beat him right in front of the truck with guess whose picture, like right in the background.
Austin.
The-
So you
yeah.
can do that again and set it up. Like,
yeah.
almost have it framed the exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
Have Cody in different gears so that it's not like they're just reinserting the same footage,
Yeah.
but frame it almost the same way.
Yeah.
I think that would be great. And then, like I said, you write them off TV for a week or so. Neither man has to try to carry a promo.
Mm. Yep. Well,
Cody could counter the line, but you lose all heat in that shirt if you bring up the fact that he left the company to go try to start a rival promotion. Because his whole shirt is "I won't give up." Cena did. But you asked for your release so you could go essentially start up a rival company to compete with WWE. If that's not giving up, I don't know what is.
yeah, you gave up on your WWE career.
Just to then come back and be positioned as the hot shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Basically taking over Cena's spot.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote that in the promo too, that no one was there. Like, I actually really like that promo. Like, I meant to ask JJ, or maybe I did that. Like, what his thoughts on it.
Yeah, it was good. So we did get a $5 Canadian super chat from Shadow Batash. What are your favorite manias from the 2010s?
Oh, damn.
Oh, my
So
God.
2010s began with 26. So 26 through 35.
31 for me.
Well,
30.
honestly, for me, 26 was Michael's Taker 2.
Yeah.
27 began the series with Triple H that went 27, 28, 29. Culminating in that Hell in a Cell at 29. 28, 29 was also Rock Cena 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. No, 27, 28.
No, because 27 was The Rock as the guest host.
No, I'm talking about the whole Triple H thing.
Right, 27, 28, 29, wasn't it?
Mm-mm.
No?
Just 27, 28.
Okay.
Well, if
because they had already fought at 17. That's where the third match comes from.
Yeah.
My bad. So 27, 28.
29 was with Taker and Punk. And the whole John Cena.
Okay.
Damn, I totally forgot about Taker Punk, to be honest.
I will never forget about that because that was right after Paul Bearer's passing. And I'll forever have the image of Punk dumping the ashes from the urn and like wiping the ashes on his chest.
Yeah.
And especially since Jeff and I had gotten close to Percy with him working out here at NWA from Hollywood.
Mm.
So I will never forget that match. I just forgot what year it was because they start to blend together there.
Yeah.
WrestleMania
30 wasn't bad either.
Yeah, that had the end of the streak.
Daniel Bryan, yeah.
Was it 33 that was Taker Roman?
Yes.
That wasn't a bad match. I don't remember the whole show if it was good or not, but I know that match was pretty
That's
good.
when the Hardys came back.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, I mean, they weren't all bad. I mean, well, 27. 27 was. I don't know.
Hey, leave 27 alone. The 27 one is the one where The Miz defeated John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania. Completely clean, no outside interference whatsoever.
I'm not saying it was a bad WrestleMania. It's just like one that like I just forget about.
No, pretty much everything else on that card was garbage, though.
Yeah.
Triple H, Undertaker, and the Miz Cena matches are like the high points. '30 was a roller coaster of emotions for a lot of people because, like, there's the shock and awe of the streak ending, but it also was freaking Daniel Bryan's ascension. So it's like you're all heartbroken that the streak ended, but then Daniel Bryan wins the title, and it's like now you're on an emotional roller coaster for a completely better reason.
Right.
Crazy, right?
What was 34?
34?
Oh my god. That was Roman and Lesnar again.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Roman Lesnar. And then
That's the one where Braun Strowman and Nicholas won the tag titles.
Oh God, no!
In the semi-main event, no less.
Yep. Oh my god. Against the Bar. Oh my god. Poor Sheamus.
They won the match in 4 minutes.
Poor Claudio. Oh my god.
Whatever happened to that guy?
It's also the show where Taker squashed Cena in under 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No. That's
Oh,
a
yeah,
bad
He said no.
Ronda's
Just
first
those
match.
two things right there. It's like,
Yeah, Ronda's first match too. People put it in the
Yes.
chat now. Charles
What
was
was
putting it in the match in the chat, and I'm just like, now it's all coming back to me.
Jinder
What was it?
Mahal defeated Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, and Rusev to win the United States title.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Wasn't the low blow with AJ and Shinsuke?
Yeah, AJ and Shinsuke.
Oh god!
I can't believe this is gonna be WrestleMania 41. Like, holy
Charlotte defeated Asuka, which ended her undefeated streak.
Yeah, I'm still mad about that.
No, she has an unvictorious streak. She has never won at WrestleMania. Yo, how is that a thing?
It's the anti-Taker.
Yep.
streak.
She might as well keep it going like Brian Myers did. Remember when he kept wanting to lose?
That's a fair assessment there.
39.
39 and 40 are Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Oh, 40
Which makes 38 A New Hope, because that was when Cody first returned to the company and kind of started to insert himself in shit.
Shadow just sent another one.
I did see that. So thank you to Shadow Batash for another $5 Canadian super chat. Which opener did you enjoy most, Bret Owen or Triple H Bryan? Bret versus Owen.
That's not even a comp.
Nah, for me, that's really not.
Don't hate me. I'm gonna say Triple H versus Bryan because I didn't see Bret versus Owen when it came out.
Neither did I.
I mean, I've gone back and watched that match, obviously, but like as a younger viewer, Triple H and Bryan just stood out more. That's just my opener.
Hey, she's from Canada and never saw a Bret Hart match. She's
Right.
admitted it here, so.
So for me, Triple H versus Bryan is a bad comparison. Just me personally. I don't know how Walter may feel about it, G. For me, Bret and Owen is the definitive WrestleMania opener. The only one, in my opinion, that comes close, that even comes close, is WrestleMania 21, Eddie versus Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
That's the... Then it's a coin flip for me. I still am going to go with Bret Owen more often than not, but man, the only one that's even on that level to me is Eddie versus Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only
And
reason
yes, there's a little bit of personal bias because that's the only Mania I was there for, because that was WrestleMania Goes Hollywood at the Staples Center, now the Crypto.com Arena. But I defy you to look through the archives and find me a bad Eddie versus Ray match. So having them face each other to start the show was fucking great.
I mean, if you think about it, it was a brother versus brother match too, in a way.
If they literally were brothers, it would compare more. But the fact that they're like, best friends that you can call your brother because you grew up together or whatever. If they were blood brothers, it might even make it even harder to choose.
They were tag champs at the time, though.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
I hate it when they did that too. Make tag champs fight when they like the Shawn John Cena. Like I get it because they weren't real champs, but it's like, ugh,
well, you got to figure that was the start of the whole falling apart for them because that was WrestleMania 2005. SummerSlam 2005 was the custody of Dominic ladder match.
Oh God.
So from Mania to SummerSlam, their whole story completely unfolded.
Yeah.
From Big Four to Big Four. Like, say what you will about that match now in hindsight, but on its own as a ladder match, it's a great match.
Oh,
the
yeah,
stipulation
definitely.
is fucking stupid. But it kind of started there at WrestleMania and then culminated at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So, yes, you do, Ash. You have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, I still do.
I got a lot to think about with this 10 matches coming up.
For your list? That's right. That's going to be next Saturday, right? You and Noah's top 10 for March.
March had a lot of good shit, especially with the cup right here.
And you've got tomorrow, too, to add to it. Tomorrow and Raw. Because we're going to do that reality of wrestling watch along tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. I forget you guys do that.
It was something they started because they watched all that shit in January. It was like, dude, Walter likes doing top 10s like the dads did. So he's doing the whole thing with Noah where every month they do the top 10 matches that they watched each month.
Oh, make sure make sure Noah's up to it with everything.
Yeah.
Might have to skip March. Oh, you could do it. I don't know.
We'll see.
But yeah, WrestleMania 40 will hold a special place in my heart. So.
Me too. I met Big G there. The first WrestleMania I ever been to. So.
Yeah.
And as long as we get you to 200 subs, you're going again next year.
Yeah, damn it.
By the way, just to throw it out there again, we have 28 people watching right now. 3 are watching on Walter's channel. So that's 25 of y'all that are watching on some other brand right now. Out of you 25, if you are not currently subscribed to Rage of Wrestling on YouTube, go subscribe to him now. Because
Please.
if he gets to 200 subscribers, his wife is sending him to New Orleans next year for a month for WrestleMania. And he gets to bring someone from the team to go with him. So, again, to the 25 of y'all that are watching that currently aren't watching on his channel, if you have not subscribed yet to Rage of Wrestling, go subscribe to Rage of Wrestling. Let's get those numbers up for Walter.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, actually, somebody subscribed because it's 116 now.
There you go.
Whoever
See?
that was, thank you.
And hopefully with this simply reliable gaming.
Yes. Start getting some numbers up for him as well.
I think last time I checked, Walter, when we did the official stream on Sunday, I think we were up to like 79 views.
All right. Don't bring that up. Don't bring up bad memories for JJ.
I wasn't there. Y'all didn't piss me off. You pissed James off. I'm still happy you had good numbers.
Yeah.
So
that's good for y'all in the debut episode. But yes, in the future, make sure you guys are aware of the times.
I did not know you guys had a watch along.
I've
all
been
good.
mentioning it, but I expect to go 6 hours though.
Ash here, get Walter on the road to Mania. Don't be a dickhead. Subscribe to Rage of Wrestling.
Yeah.
That's right. Do it because Shadow Batash told you to, and do it because Jada Parker's ass tells you to.
Right. I gotta get Tiffany to say, like, tell people if she says it, it's over. It's gonna go. The numbers are gonna go like a slot machine.
Safet's probably commenting in the chat right now. Hello, Jada Parker's ass.
Mm-hmm.
He always puts that out.
Yeah.
Or if it's the Lola one, hello, Lola Vice's ass.
Yeah. I made Noah crack up one time. I said, Noah's simple, and those are dimples. Noah cracked up.
Damn it. All right, well, we got all our shit in like less than 3 hours.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit another commercial break. I'm going to run the Tiffany Nieves video one more time. Give people an opportunity to get some more super chatted questions in there if they want to. Otherwise, when we come back, we'll start chilling and then get out of here. So we will return.
Get it? Got it. Bueno.
I need to be the best at everything.
Yeah, number one. Hustle from the start. Aim to be the best. No excuses, we go on. Every single day we winning, 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 winning. Every single day we winning, 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 winning. Yeah, number one. Hustle from the start. Aim to be the best. No excuses, we go on. Every single day we winning, 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 winning. Every single day we winning, 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 winning.
Get it? Got it. Bueno.
Yeah, number one. Yeah, number one. Yeah, number one. Hustle from the start. Aim to be the best. No excuses, we go hard. Every single day we winning, 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 winning.
Get it?
Every single day we winning, winning,
Got it.
winning, 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 winning.
Bueno.
And again, that'll be this coming Friday, April 4th, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, a special Friday Shenanigans as we welcome Tiffany Nieves to the show. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Her time will be limited, so if you guys have questions, they will have to be super chatted questions. in order to get them on the show and get her to answer them. Otherwise, it'll be the questions we have for her. But guys definitely are welcome and invited to be part of it, be interactive with it. But super chatted questions will be addressed next week by her only. That being said, we'll go ahead and we'll get to the shills, the plugs. You've seen her a couple times in the chat with super chats. Shadow Batash, you can follow her on YouTube at Batty for Wrestling and on X at Shadow Batash. Help her in growing her new channel. She's still in the double digits. We're trying to help her get up there as well. Big supporter and friend of the channel. Make sure you follow her and subscribe. Big Baller G.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, YouTube Harley and Joker 2021. If you're a big fan of cats or love cat videos in general. No DQ underscore Big Baller G on X. TikTok Big Baller G 1988, and on the Insta No DQ underscore Big Baller G 1988 as well.
All right. Did get a comment in here. Emmanuel says, tell Walter to read his PayPal.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
Apparently
God.
he sent another donation to your PayPal.
They need to send notifications on these things.
Ash says she also needs to do her part in making more content. That's fair. I mean, I know you've got the Windy City Riot coming up for New Japan here the middle of April, like the 11th. That's something you can make a video for. And then I know Resurgence is coming up in the beginning of May. So that's something you can do a video for, because I know a lot of your focus is New Japan stuff. I'm not sure what else you may have in between all that, if you have any other shows. I think Sakura Genesis is coming. I'm not sure when that is, but I remember seeing a thing for it. So there's that as well. That's at least 3 shows coming up you can do content for.
Yeah. Okay, I found it.
All right, go ahead, Walter.
Is WWE and AEW just coasting, relying on fandom to go out to shows because they don't know they're going to buy no matter, because they know that these people are going to buy no matter what? So is it just coasting right now? I don't know if coasting is the right word, but it seems like they're trying to do something to boost up WrestleMania sales, and I feel like, and I called it, I said it. Go back to when UFC. I said the issue is if they follow the UFC model, in which everything starts to cost too much, they're gonna have issues selling things, and that's what they're doing. The pay-per-views may not cost like UFC, but these tickets are ridiculous. Like, I tried to go to a UFC fight, and the lowest tier, nosebleed was like $600. I'm not paying that. And WrestleMania's tickets are crazy, and it's like, it's been reported, if you read people's reports, that the ticket sales are low, and they feel like this whole Hall of Fame thing of adding matches was a way to generate buzz and ticket sales. To be honest, the way to do it is to, I mean, I know it's a business and make money, is with the economy the way it is, you can't charge, nosebleeds $400 or $500 like that. So I don't know if it's coasting per se, but because I feel like some stuff is cooking, but I don't think the fans are proving they're not just going to go with WrestleMania ticket sales. You got your diehard and everything, but
I get kind of what he's asking about, though. Not even necessarily as far as just WrestleMania goes, but like AEW seems like they don't care about catering to casual fans. They just care about the sickos. As long as they've got the sickos tuning in each and every week, buying their pay-per-views, they're good. And I'm not trying to make fun of them. That's what Tony Khan calls them. So that's the name I'm using. But Tony Khan seems to worry about that market. And as long as he's got those people, then he feels like he's good, because Warner Brothers Discovery is satisfied with those numbers.
Yeah.
So as long as he doesn't lose the sickos, he feels like he's doing good. He doesn't care about trying to attract new viewers and grow the rating. Likewise, I feel to a certain extent that as long as they have the typical WWE universe that's buying the merch, buying their tickets, subscribing to Peacock, watching the show every week, they feel like they're doing well. Netflix seems to be happy with the numbers that they're generating. They're still selling out, pretty much every venue they go to. I get the concern with WrestleMania, but we've also only got like 5 or 6 matches officially announced. Like, we still don't even have the whole card fleshed out yet. I'm sure once those other matches start getting fleshed out, we'll see an increase in ticket sales as more matches get announced. Now that we know that this triple threat is a main event, that'll be something to increase sales. Once Jade and Naomi gets made official, that'll help increase sales. Tag titles, US title, whatever we're going to do, that'll help generate sales once we get more matches made official. And to Arlene's point, they keep adding stuff to WrestleMania weekend, like the roast, after parties, meet and greets, Dead Man Show, Hall of Fame. All those things are going to generate income, even if ticket sales are down a bit at the venue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're still looking at getting between 40 and 50,000 per night in that arena, that stadium. That's not bad. People are saying it's going to be like the lowest WrestleMania since WrestleMania 22, which was 20,000. Still double what that did each night, and then some. You're looking at 80,000 total compared to 20,000. I'm not exactly sure where the bad part is there.
That's true.
Ash says, say what you will about the weekly shows, but AEW delivers 8 out of 10 on their pay-per-views. She says 8 because they've had a few that she didn't care for or enjoy all that much. That's totally fair. And honestly, with the exception of the Mox Cope match, whatever it was last week, the week before, their weekly shows haven't been garbage. I have, for the most part, enjoyed what I've seen on television. I watched Collision tonight. I didn't hate it. Was it the greatest television I've ever seen? No. Was it the worst television I've ever seen? No. So like I'm content with what I saw. It's enough that if I have another Saturday and we're not doing a watch along, I'll watch Collision again. Dynamite, I try to make sure I catch each week. Collision, I watch if we're not doing a watch along, if I'm not working. Sometimes I remember to go back and rewatch it on Max. Other times I don't. But I always try to make sure I watch Dynamite whether I'm home or not. If I'm not, I usually try to run it back the next morning before we do spaces. But they're not doing anything that wows me either. The most compelling thing they're doing right now still involves Timeless Tony Storm. It's just now Timeless Tony and Megan Bayne, as opposed to Timeless Tony and Mariah May. So,
Bayne is definitely doing all right for herself.
Yes, she is. back to the shills. He popped in a couple times tonight, but follow Jeff Meacham on Blue Sky, Instagram, and X at _ Jeff Meacham, Facebook and YouTube at Jeff Meacham. He is still out there. He is still making content on a somewhat regular basis. Thank you for hanging out with us, Big G. Have a good night. Get some rest. Jeff is still showing up where he can with his busy work schedule. I know he popped into the review this week when G's technology failed him. He was on the Greg Cherry Show on Wednesday. He is supposed to be joining us for the PWG Retro Watch-alongs next week on Tuesday and Wednesday, the 1st and 2nd of April. I know he's supposed to be here for WrestleMania Karaoke on Saturday, April 12th. So make sure you tune in for all of that to see and support Jeff Meacham. For James, you can find him on Facebook at James Hebman Hebert or on X and YouTube at J Hebert Side 95. That is the one and only Natalia Markova in his graphic, his mamacita, if you will. The Simple Man Noah Foster you can find on X, Instagram, at YouTube at nfoster1916, and on Facebook at Noah Foster. Go to X and his YouTube channel for the Prediction League updates and forums. That is where he is most frequently, but the other extensions are there as well if you would like to find and follow him there. Emmanuel says, are you going to April Fool us by not showing the page and air something else? I see you, JJ. No, it's going to be the PWG thing is going to be a retro watch along. We've been advertising it for a while. You know, it's not going to be an April Fool because it's a 2-night thing. It was a night 1, night 2. So why would we April Fool you on one of them, but not the other? That doesn't make any sense. Yes, it will, Ash. You're definitely going to want to be there for that. All right, Walter, I'm going to let you promote and shill, and I will be right back.
All right. So on the Twitch, where we're thinking about doing just the gaming on Twitch. Everything else, like these YouTubes, no longer on Twitch because these damn robots get on Twitch a lot, and there's no way to prevent it and erase the comments on YouTube. So the YouTubes won't be on Twitch anymore, but the gamings will be. SR. But Twitch is at SRS 1983, and there's the fat comment. So yeah, SRS 1983 for Twitch. The Blue Sky and X is at Walter Alex Cruz, where we do spaces on Wednesdays. Try our best to keep it at 3. I had to go late because I was fixing the car last week. But Instagram, walter.cruz.940, and of course the bread and butter, the At Rage of Wrestling YouTube channel, where we definitely need the support to get to 200, where of course, as mentioned earlier, I get to go to New Orleans for a month and bring a member with me from the Simply Reliable Studios, and we get to go to WrestleMania. So looking forward to that. So yeah, get me over the hump, people. And no, I don't mean the 2 asses on the graph.
Yes, you do. Don't lie. You ain't got to lie to kick it, Walter.
Right.
Sorry about that. The wind was blowing so hard up here right now, it literally blew the front door open. So I had to get up and close it because no one else is around right now.
Wow. That's some wind.
And then for me, you can find me on Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams, on X and Blue Sky at ROWJJ Williams, at X and YouTube at Casa D18 Studios. No S on the X, Casa D18 Studio. That is where the spaces are, like Walter said. That is probably where I'm the most active right now, is on X. I'm still not that active over there in reality. I'm most active on Facebook, but I've been trying to be more active on the X and the Insta. Damn it, thing glitched. I tried to upload an image and it wouldn't let it go in. Trying to stall here. Do. An error occurred. Wait a moment, try again. Damn it. He's trying to upload the image of the spaces schedule so they could know what days is what space and everything.
Okay.
But as mentioned a couple times already, you can join us tomorrow for our very first Reality of Wrestling watch along for their show Glory. Show will begin at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific for our pre-show. Show going live at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. It'll be live on titlematchnetwork.com. That's title, TITLE, match, MATCH, network.com. It is a $14.99 a month subscription fee, and you get access to all of the live streams that they do, as well as their backlog, stuff like Mission Pro Wrestling, WrestleCade, Ladies Night Out, shoot interviews, and more. AJ Francis, the former Top Dollar, will be on the card. Wes Lee, JC Jane, Tiffany Nieves, of course, will be on the card, who will be here next Friday, April 4th. Some of the WWE ID talent will be on the card. So lots of good stuff there. And then again, it's been mentioned a couple times, but April 4th, Friday, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, a special Friday Shenanigans with La Princesa Tiffany Nieves joining the show. And then on Saturday will be a regular Shenanigans, but it'll be Heaven Mania. Heaven Mania is us fantasy booking a WrestleMania card only using deceased wrestlers. So wrestlers that have passed away. That should be a fun show to fantasy book. And then 1 week from tomorrow, AEW Dynasty from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And to Ash's point, AEW pay-per-views are usually an 8 out of 10 or better. You know, you would think with that nail in the board spot that they did on television, doing it in Philadelphia, the home of extreme wrestling, would have been the place to do it. I'm just saying. Right? Instead of giving that away on free TV, they should have saved it for the pay-per-view. Charles just followed you on Twitch.
Oh, nice. Thanks. Yeah, because I know he follows me on YouTube already.
What time for what, Charles? I was away from the chat when that popped up. That way I can reiterate one more time for you for whatever the event was that you were asking about the time for.
I wonder if you meant the ROH thing.
ROW?
Yeah, sorry. Every time I say RO, it's automatically H in my head.
And there's the thing for the Simply Reliable Studios spaces. Tuesday and Thursday is Tribalism Free Zone, which is the one I host. Wednesday is Simple Spaces, which is Walter's. Friday and Sunday is our friends at Rockin' Ropes. And Saturday is Wrestling with Autism, hosted by James, his friend Ryan, and our buddy Hannibal from across the pond. Okay, it was for the Reality of Wrestling. Yes, so that's our pre-show coverage will begin at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific, and the event will begin at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. And we did get another super chat from Arlene Dominguez. Thank you for the super chat. Chances of Heyman turning and odds that he joins Seth, and who wins? That's, I would not be surprised to see Heyman turn. Heyman has always worked better as a heel. So I could definitely see him turning. Joining Seth would make the most sense. It's the only man in the match he has not been aligned with. If he turns and joins Seth, then I think Seth wins. I could also see him turning and going back to Punk. I could also see him staying with Roman. So I'm going to say there's a 33 1/3% chance that he turns. Well, no. 66 2/3% chance that he turns. Because I could see him turning and going back to Punk. I could see him turning and going back to Seth. That leaves a 33 1/3% chance that he'll stay with Roman. So I could see a 66 2/3% chance that he turns. If he joins Seth in the turn, then Seth wins. Otherwise, I kind of want Punk to win. He's finally getting his WrestleMania main event. I'd like for him to win it. Ash says Sakura Genesis, Dynasty, and WrestleMania on the way, and yet she's more hyped for Bloodsport 13. I'm not even mad at that because, yes, I am super stoked for Bloodsport. There is so much stuff coming in the next, let's see, NXT After Mania is the 22nd. It's still the 29th for me, so got 2 more days. So the next 25 days, we'll say. So much stuff coming that I am excited for. That there's so much good shit. It's exactly. It brings us back to the thing we say every year around WrestleMania time. And it's been said more frequently here, but if you cannot find something to enjoy in these next 25 days in professional wrestling, get the fuck out the fandom. Between Reality of Wrestling tomorrow, which is going to be a first ever for us, 2 nights of PWG retro watch-alongs. And Noah's never seen a PWG show from start to finish. Neither has Ash. Neither have you, I don't believe.
Nope.
So you got 2 nights of retro PWG content. We've got GCW on deck. We've got Bloodsport on deck, which, yes, is GCW also, but it's more done by Barnett, so I keep it as something separate. We've got the return of Dragon Gate. We've got Stardom. We've got AEW Dynasty. We've got Stand and Deliver. We've got so much stuff. Like, I can't even keep track of it all. There is so much shit coming up. I know I'm missing stuff. We've got TNA Unbreakable. We've got Prestige Wrestling. We've got Joey Janela's Spring Break, which again, I know is part of the GCW extension. We've got New Japan, Windy City Riot. I'm not 100% about MLW. I know we're supposed to be doing Battle Riot next Saturday, but I'm not sure if we're still going to do that and then just start Shenanigans afterwards, or if we're going to have to cancel that. But so much stuff. Arlene said, what about you, Walter? What are your thoughts on her super chat?
Which one?
The one about Heyman turning.
Oh, I mean, it's always possible, but I think he stays with Roman. But I want Punk to win. I'm with JJ. It's his first WrestleMania, and it's that favor is still looming over their heads. The fact that I love that they did that. I love your Aladdin reference. So, yeah. So there's always a chance. Never say never, as we learned, especially in 2025. And he does work best as a heel, and the only one he's never had is Seth. And the fact that Seth is so pissed that CM Punk did that, maybe Paul gets pissed that CM Punk is dangling his favor over his head and gets frustrated enough to join Seth and sees the bad side of Punk.
Mm-hmm. So that is going to do it for us here at the Simply Reliable Studios in this week's episode of Shenanigans. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow again, 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific, as we get ready to cover Reality of Wrestling Glory. We will be covering the card in that 30-minute pre-show. Not really going to give our predictions because we don't know what's going on in the company storyline-wise, but we will discuss the matches that are going to happen and give a few thoughts of at least the people that we know in the matches. AJ Francis, JC Jane Wesley, Tiffany Nieves, Kaya Dream, Holly Hood Haley J, some of the ID prospects. So we'll give our thoughts on some of that stuff for the 30 minutes pre-hype and then get into the show. Again, titlematchnetwork.com. $14.99 to subscribe for a month. You get that. You get all the other stuff they provide. Me and Walter both subscribe to the service, and we're trying to do at least one show that they provide through the service a month to kind of make it worth us continuing to pay for it. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard because we forget about it, but I do try to go there every couple of weeks, see if anything is coming up that catches my eye for me to pitch to us. But, you know, it happens. But thank you guys for joining us. Again, if we don't see you guys until next Friday will be a special Shenanigans as we welcome La Princesa Tiffany Nieves to the show. That'll be the quote-unquote normal episode of the week, as after we're done with her, we will discuss the week's topics, etc. You know, SmackDown will have just aired, so we can discuss stuff that happens on SmackDown, you know, all that kind of stuff. That normal conversation will happen after the interview. That way, comes Saturday, if we decide to start Shenanigans after MLW, we just have to worry about the fantasy cards. We don't have to worry about anything else unless you guys super chat us questions on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. And again, only super chatted questions will be asked to Tiffany Nieves. We love you guys. We love the support. We love the questions you guys put in the chat. A lot of times we'll bring chat questions up, even if it's not super chatted. But the time with Tiffany Nieves is going to be limited, so only super chatted questions will be brought up with her. So keep that in mind, please. We don't want to have to be rude to our regulars. We love you guys.
Definitely.
Thank you all for joining us and tuning in. And until tomorrow in our watch along, we will catch you guys next time. Have a good night.
Adios, folks.